What is going on? What is going on? It is Friday, March 25th, 2022. It is the last Friday of the month, so you already know what that means. It is Freestyle Friday, which I know is some of my subscribers' favorite day of the month as far as when it comes to me doing these live streams. And we are here, we are back. Just going to let a couple people come right on in. If you have not done so already, make sure you go ahead and like this video. Like the stream, share it on your social media platforms. That way we can get more eyes and ears in here. Make sure you like the video. One tip I will give you is to make sure that when it comes to the liking of the video, the way that the algorithm works is if you can get a video to over 100 likes, it'll gravitate and start to grab onto it, and it'll spread the video or the stream out more. So that's just a little tip. 100 likes on a video will grab the attention of the algorithm, and it'll send the video out more. And the faster it happens, the more faster it'll spread. So let's see, who do we have in here so far? Hack Sign, KT, Kid Gravity Beyond, Black Voltron. And shout out to Black Voltron because he literally always shares my content, like all the time, like always. Joseph Washington, Jamal Bay, what's going on? Gonna wait for a couple more people to come on in, and then I'll drop the link around 5:10. Just like how we do it on all the other streams. It's no different on this day. It's just that it's not a structured show. When I do these particular streams, it's not structured because I'm not talking about like really much like anything topic based. Let's see, Pisces the King, S-Mont, Spidey. Spidey, you sound like you was about to go through it when you left that comment on the community tab because you was wondering was I still having a Freestyle Friday day. You was asking, is it going to be in the form of a premiere? That kind of defeats the purpose. See, Tawana the news anchor. I'm gonna call you the news anchor because you post a whole bunch of news articles in the Discord. But I appreciate it though. Let's see, Everall Gordon, what's going on? Nino, what's going on? How you doing? I hope everybody is having a good week so far. I know that I am. I'm just getting some stuff together, because if many of y'all don't know already, on the first week of May, which is my birthday is on the 4th, I'm going to LA for my birthday for that week. So I'm just getting everything prepared for that as far as like clothes, mainly just clothes and stuff. And three clothing items that I ordered online have already come in the mail this week. And I actually returned one that I bought off of Amazon because I got a size that didn't fit. So I had to order another size. And thank God with Amazon, all I had to do was take it and drop it off at Whole Foods. And that was pretty much it. But I got the right size this time, as well as the two other clothing items that I needed to get. I actually got an email for some other clothing items that I ordered that it got shipped today. So hopefully I most likely will get it next week. But I should have everything that I need as far as clothes go, definitely probably by the second week, hopefully, of April. That's why it's good to order your stuff early when it comes to online shopping, because you don't know what the shipping is going to be like. Some things may not be in stock. It may be on back order. Thank God everything that I'm ordering is not in back order. So that's a very good thing. Everything's in stock, but people's ordering patterns are different. And I clearly couldn't get everything off of Amazon. So I say your birthday is Sunday. Well, happy early birthday. Nina said, did I get the shoes yet? No, I didn't get the shoes yet because the shoes that I'm getting, they're not shipped in the States. Like it's not coming from a States manufacturer. The shoes are actually manufactured overseas. The shoes, honestly, is probably going to be the last thing that I get, probably. But they're already in production right now because they already sent me the email basically saying they're in production. As a matter of fact, let me go look at my email right now because they sent me an update on the 19th. They just said that they're actually coming from Italy. By the way, for those who were wondering about the shoes that I ordered, they're coming from Italy. They said that on the enter production on the 19th, and it'll be shipped in 6 to 12 business days. So it'll probably ship. If it hasn't shipped this week, well, if it did, they would have sent me an email saying that they did ship them. So probably next week when they'll ship them, and hopefully I get them like the first week of April. Janessa, it's not my birthday. It's not my birthday. Spidey's birthday is on Sunday. I'm just talking about what I'm doing, what I'm planning to do for my birthday, but my birthday is not until May. My birthday is like a little over a month away. Let's see, who else do we have in here? Pinky JYB, Smoked Yankee. But yeah, when I get the shoes, I'm gonna post them up on the community tab so y'all can see them. Those shoes are like really nice. But yeah, that's the email that they sent me on the 19th, is what actually the day that I ordered them. It just says that they enter production and will be ready to ship in 6 to 12 business days. Let me actually go to my calendar and actually see what that is, because the 19th was on a Saturday, so they technically didn't start they didn't start the whole shipping process until Monday. So that's today would be day 5. So they won't ship until most likely Monday the 28th. So it says 6 to 12 business days. So you're talking about between Monday the 28th and sometime the week of the 8th of April. You know, when you're doing international stuff like that, you got to really order that stuff in advance, because you know it's coming from overseas. Dr. Carby said, May the 4th be with you. Ironically, that's one of the shirts that I ordered. I said, why not? It fits. He says, unfortunately, my father passed away on May the 3rd. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. Pinky JYB said, what brand of shoes they are. There's actually some sneakers. As a matter of fact, if y'all are familiar with Seiji Hito, which I'm sure many of you are, the shoes that I ordered are the ones that he designed. If you watch any of his videos, in the intro that he gives, and he's talking about the clothing store that he has and the shoes, those are the shoes that I ordered. So y'all have actually already seen those shoes. If you watch his videos, they're like red, black, and green. But those are the shoes that I ordered off of his site. But they're manufactured in Italy, but he designed them. Exactly. What Black Voltron said, if you're on your way into the live, make sure y'all go ahead and hit that like button. I would greatly appreciate it. One thing I like about the shoes that I did order is that they said that their COVID-19 lockdown is finished, because you know their production had to slow down because of it. So whatever lockdown that they had over there because of that is done. So everything's pretty much back, like running like a well-oiled machine. But they did say some may still be partially slow until the 31st of this month. But I mean, I can be patient as long as they are here by April 30th or April 29th. I'll be good, because I leave on May 1st, which is that Sunday, for a week. And I cannot wait, because this will be my first time going out to the West Coast. Smoking, you said, are the shoes being manufactured? No, the shoes are manufactured in Italy. That's where they're being shipped from. The shoes that I ordered on that site are being manufactured in Italy. That is where they are coming from. Give it about 2 more minutes and we'll go ahead and get started. Oh, and by the way, I'm glad I'm seeing this right now. I see someone right here. I'm gonna actually highlight this comment. Shout out to Rojo. If y'all see this symbol right here, that is my join. That's my membership sign right here. In case y'all are unaware, I have the join button clicked on. I think one of the live streams that I did a couple live streams ago, I believe on my other channel, it may have been this one, I can't remember. Someone has said, have you turned on your membership button yet? And I said no, because I didn't feel the need to, because I felt like I didn't have any perks to give to you as a viewer or a subscriber. And I said, I don't want y'all just to, like, give me money every single month unless you wanted to. At least with the super chat, I know that's optional. And they said, well, you provide us with news every day. I mean, it's the least we could do. So I turned the join button on. So far, I see 2 people who have turned that button on. My goal is 100, but honestly, I might turn it down to 50 because I actually have a goal in mind of, I mean, I have something in mind of what I want to do. And shout out to Kid Gravity. Now that makes 3. Like I said, my goal was 100. I might bring it down to 50 because I said what I wanted to do is I wanted to have membership only streams. And I said, I think what I want to do with those is, y'all know how I like do movie reviews and stuff like that. What I wanted to do was have like spoiler review, I guess you can say streams, but I wanted to be to the members. That way it's not open, make it kind of exclusive. And that way, you know how I do the Freestyle Friday streams where I let people come up and talk about whatever? Well, we'll do that over there on those streams, to talk about stuff like that. But that's what I wanted to do on that particular thing. So say for instance, there's a movie that comes out that people want to see. I do my usual review on it 1 week, and then maybe that following week or that following weekend, so it doesn't clash with the Friday stream, we can do a spoiler stream on the member side. If y'all don't know where the join button is, if you look on my on the page, as a matter of fact, if you're looking at the screen right now, it should say join and subscribe. It should be in a little blue box that says join. It should be in a little blue box that says join. And I only have it set to $4.99 a month. I'm not going to hit y'all over the head or anything like that. But it should say join and subscribe. It should be right next to the subscribe button, and it should be in a blue box. If Rojo and Kid Gravity and another person, I can't remember their name, but I think it was a woman, could find it, it's right there. Like, you can't miss it. Okay, see, now hack sign. Now you found it. There you go. It's right there. What's going on, Vincent Taylor? You say you don't have the box. I don't know how you don't have it. It should be accessible to everybody. Everybody should be able to see it. You said, Kid Gravity said, who are the 2 dummies who dislike? I don't know. I can't see the dislike counter on here. I didn't know people could actually still see it because I don't see it anymore. You said you're on the app. It should be on the app. Hold on. Well, I can't see it on mine because it wouldn't show up on mine because clearly I'm the user. Kid Gravity says sometimes the iPhone doesn't show it. Oh, you talking about the dislike counter? Oh, okay, never mind. Okay, what I'm gonna do now is I'm going to drop the link into the chat. There it is right there. So if anybody would like to come up and talk about and discuss pretty much whatever, there it is right there. Like I said, I'm gonna try to do this stream for like 2 hours at the most. That way we're not here all day. And also on Fridays, oh, Spidey, you spoke your partner in crime up. He gave the first dono. He said, hey, TR and chat fam, hope everyone is doing great, feeling well and enjoying their evening in good health. Apologies for my tardiness, but I don't know if I'll be active on the stream or not. Heading to the hospital to see you, my brother. Hey, listen, family comes first. We wholeheartedly understand if you cannot be a part of the stream today. It is what it is. That's why we have these, once a month. But family definitely comes first. I wouldn't be like, say, come on here and you got family emergencies. Because if I had a family emergency, I would have put on the community tab that there wouldn't be a stream today. It is what it is. It happens. But hopefully your brother does get better, though. All right, Nino, cool. He said you're not okay. That's fine. Hey, if you're not feeling well, don't try to push yourself to come up here. It is what it is. Oh, we got our first person right here. Kid Gravity, what's going on?
What's up?
How's everything on your side?
It's sunny, so I'm living my day.
Same here.
Yes, sir. Uh, I'm. I just wanted to know. Did you see? You see how I guess the Biden sexuals are sitting there yelling at Biden for not taking care of the Haitians like he's about to do them Ukrainians.
I mean, what can I say? I
You
have no
can't
do-
say nothing.
I have no dog in this fight.
And just two letters.
I have no. What's going on, Joseph? I have no dog in this fight.
Yes, sir. Me either.
It's not really.
Joseph, are you talking to somebody else?
Oh yeah. I was talking to my mom. We're about to head grocery shopping. I just wanted to come in and say salute to the chat room and everyone who's going to come into the studio soon.
Okay.
Cool.
Hopefully, I'll come back and catch up on whatever it is you're talking about. But I'm gonna listen in while I make these runs.
Okay, cool. Like I said, I'm probably going to be on here for like 2 hours because that's like the max I try to do this particular stream. Because I know some people may come in later. They might just be getting off and everything like that. So I'm sure there's going to be more people that's going to start filtering in more later. So So as long as you here by 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you should be good.
Gotcha. I should be back in the gym.
All right.
All right.
All right. Let's see. We got somebody else.
Mhm.
Rojo, what's going on?
Hey, what's up, Taurean?
What's going on?
Shalom, Arata Suse.
Oh, by the way, shout out to both of you for hitting that join button, that membership button. I think now that makes 4. I think that now makes 4.
Cool. I mean, we gotta support the brother. You out here putting in that work.
Yeah, like I said, at first I didn't want to turn that button on, and the thing is, I had access to it for months. Like I could have been turned that thing on probably well into 2 years ago, honestly. But I never like cut it on because I don't like that. Feel like I'm asking people for money because that feels almost like a panhandling type of thing. If people wanted like donate anything, I want it to be organic.
Hey, can you hear me,
Just like when
fam?
people, yeah, I
Yes,
can
sir.
hear you. Just like if people hit the
Okay.
super chat button, I'm not asking them to hit the super chat button. They just go ahead and do it.
Well, you put in the cash. You got the cachet for that. I mean, like I said, you put in that work, and people respect your grind. So you might as well get paid for it.
Hey, Tori, and I got a question for you, bro.
What's that?
Hey, did you hear about? I posted it in the chat, but did you hear about that bob and weave left hook that the bear gave to America a few days ago?
Who?
That Russia gave to America.
No, I didn't.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah. Okay. You know all these sanctions, right? That Cricket Joe be putting on Moscow ever since the invasion. Well, anyway, since it's all about the money and the oil, Russia said that they won't deal with anything outside of the ruble, and that if Russia, including the EU, tries to honor the contract by paying their indigenous money, the petrodollar and the euro, that it will be unreliable because Russia's only accepting the ruble now. The euro and especially the petrodollar is now in default, so it
And you
won't
forgot
hold the
about
value.
you forgot about the yuan too.
Oh yeah, in the yuan, you're right.
Yeah, that's the only
You're
way
right.
you can get gas. That's the only way we could buy gas if we got yuan. Oh boy, this is I'm telling you, election season is the greatest sitcom ever.
It is. I agree. 100.
So, Torian, you bought your plane ticket already, right?
Oh yeah, I've
Okay.
had all of that purchased like back in October, thanks to my cousin because she does like flight she has like a flight agency business, and actually through her I was actually able to save like over $1,000. Like I actually got
Are you
a
getting
really
a
good
car?
deal. Yeah, I got a rental.
Oh Lord.
Use budget, bro.
I need everybody in the chat to get on this man's subscription, please, because that gas price out there gonna be crazy the next couple months.
Oh, I already know. And before I go any further, shout out to Janesta for the $2 super sticker. I appreciate it. Yeah, because
Hey,
I
bro,
already
when
know.
I get it,
I already know because some people was telling me, like, when I was asking them how much gas costs out there, they said that gas like $6. Like that's like you're not gonna find really gas out there less than that, at least not right now. And I think for me the best part is because it's like I guess I'm not going to be doing, I guess you can say, too much driving, but the thing is I didn't want to rely on an Uber or a Lyft, because it's like it's a pro and a con. Because like the pro is that if I rely on an Uber or a Lyft, I don't have to worry about gas. But the thing is, if I want to get from point A to point B, I'm gonna be paying money anyway. But you know, if I have a rental, I can come and go as I please. But then on top of that is gas, and when you have a rental, you have to return it with a full gas tank, or at least wherever the gas was at, which usually is gonna be a full tank. So you know, I'm just, you know, I'm gonna be prepared for it. And one thing
they're gonna give you a Tesla.
Oh, not giving me. They're not giving me a Tesla. I already saw what type of vehicle.
Would you get the economy?
I think I did get something economy based, but I think, you know, another thing that I'm worried about is the traffic, because I know the LA traffic is ridiculous. Like you don't have. I haven't been out there to know that the LA traffic out there is crazy at the wildest times too.
Go to Palmdale. Don't get out.
Shout out to Mark for becoming a member of the channel. I appreciate it.
Go to Palmdale, you never get out.
Do not get out. Just cruise through Palmdale.
You know what? I don't want to put the mojo on you, but you might fuck around, end up there in Carmageddon again.
Carmageddon?
Yeah, where they had all the highways were all backed up everywhere because of construction.
Please don't put that out there. See, the thing is, the perfect thing about it is that my birthday falls on a non-holiday weekend. It's not like it's Memorial Day or 4th of July or, you know, any type of holiday where there's a lot of traveling.
Check the Spanish ones too.
Was that?
Check the Spanish ones too.
Oh, you mean like Cinco de Mayo? Because that is the day after my birthday.
Well, you'll get discounted Spanish food down there, so you know. 25-cent street top.
Don't go to the SGV.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know. You might be straight out there, but kind of keep it Compton, South Central.
Yeah. And if you go to Long Beach, you will cry because the gentrification out there is crazy.
Thanks for the tips.
Yeah. All right, man. But yeah. So today I got to be on your stream, and then I'm gonna rest up and then go interview Marcel Dixon. I need all the B1s on that. I need y'all on that stream, please, because we got to make sure Clyburn got to go.
Hey KG, do you have a channel I can subscribe to, man?
Yeah, K Gravity Beyond.
Got you.
Yeah, that interview is at 7:30. So I got to make sure all the B1s, all the FBA and ADOS, we got to go in there. And the first question I'm going to ask him is, did you hear what Roland Martin said, and how do you feel? Because that man was so. You
mean what Professor Black Truth was talking about on his channel today on the Moment of Truth? That one?
No.
Shout out to Dyson for becoming.
Did you hear what you heard what Roland said about the B1s and the FBAs the other day?
He said a lot of things, but you know.
Yeah, he basically cussed us out.
And everything that comes out of his mouth is a bunch of nonsense anyway. He said he cussed us out. I'm not surprised by that.
He cussed us
was he being extra zesty when he said it?
Dude, if you watch the video, I don't know where he was. He must have been in his studio. He kept walking back and forth to this podium that he had in the middle of the room. I don't know. He might have ADD or something, but he dropped the S word, BS on us. He told Jason to go pull up. He said, "I'm gonna be in Louisiana."
This is the same guy. Pull up. But keep in mind, this is the same guy that claimed that he quote unquote checked Dr. Khalid Muhammad. I highly doubt that. I highly doubt that he did. I don't even know if he even knew him. Like, really. Like, I highly doubt that he even knew him. Like I said, I need to receive the receipts from that. Like, they had video cameras back then, not the best quality, but you know, back then that was what we had. I need someone to provide some kind of imagery that you actually quote unquote pulled up on this man who actually has shaken a lot of white people who have more esteem than you ever could.
Mhm.
He made them shake in their boots. And you expect us to believe that you, of all people, did or made him like kind of like jump back? I don't
Yeah.
believe. I don't believe it.
But we did see him get run off the block in North Carolina.
You mean waddled off?
Or waddled off, however you want to call
I
it.
swear. And you know, so speaking of waddle, when I went to go see when I went to go see the Batman, and you know the penguin when he was arrested by, or he was in cuffs in the chain with
Right.
by Gordon and Batman, and when he waddled off, I thought of Roland Martin. Because I just imagine that's
I'm
how
surprised. I'm surprised Matt Reeves didn't race swap him and put Roland in.
Oh God, that's the last thing he need to do. You want to bring the quality of the movie down by casting that person as your penguin? Are you kidding me? No. Well,
Hey,
maybe maybe the people over at Warner Brothers can have him be the new voice of Porky Pig, because he does that imitation very well.
Hey,
but he's like,
I have a question about Roland Martin. Maybe y'all might know, and I'm not trying to impugn the brother. The bootleg. I don't really care about him like that. But is he a little bit on the moist side? I mean, is he in that academy?
You can go Google images of him with men, dude. It look real. It look real suspect. Like dudes are standing next to him taking pictures in speedos. I'm like, what are we doing?
And why? And he keeps wearing that ass. And he keeps wearing that ascot. We know you. We know you don't have a neck, and we know that you wear
that ain't the business.
And that's why you wear the ascot to hide the lack of a neck.
Right.
So, I mean, it is what it is.
Yo, he was, but that dude, and he's like, I'm going to be down in Louisiana. Y'all going to come out? I'm like, Jason lives in Louisiana. You just tell him where you're at.
I think what, Shreveport?
Yeah, he's in Shreveport.
Yeah,
so
Shreveport.
If you go to New Orleans, that's only an hour away. So what's up? Go see that man. But I know what's going to happen.
The only time he goes down to New Orleans is to go to the Essence Festival,
right?
But that's not until July.
To eat that F2 right?
And that crawfish.
And the beignets. You know he love him some beignets.
And them po' boys. That's the only time he gonna go down, because he going down there for the food. He going down there to clog them arteries. That's
how much you want to bet he gonna have cops all over the place?
I bet you he is. But yeah, but speaking of, and I'm actually speaking of this prematurely, because I actually did the video on it. I might, and I already set my videos up, like always do them a day in advance. I might switch something out. Did y'all hear about BNC?
Yes, sir. I heard about it a couple weeks ago.
I knew that day was coming based on everything that was going on over there when I first started talking about them like last year, because I never really talked about BNC as a channel or whatever, or YouTube channel or a network ever until late last year when they had that first round of controversy with the whole I forgot what it was, but I talked about it in the video. But in case y'all in the chat don't know, as of today, March 25th, 2022, the artist formerly known as BNC is no more.
Yes, sir.
As I call it, the so-called Black News Channel is officially shut down after only being in business for about 2 years.
Yes, sir.
I call it the bootleg news channel.
And it's like the details behind them crashing like that is not surprising, because when they list the details of everything that could have gone wrong for them, you can see why it failed. And the only surprising thing is that it still stayed up as long as it did, because they said out of 124 news channels, they ranked 123, which means they were only one up against another channel that clearly is not doing as well. Out of 124, they were 123. They said they got about 4,000 viewers on their channel. The number one the network was Fox News, and that's no surprise. They said they had like about 2 million. They said they had about 2 point something million viewers a week, which is not surprising.
I would take that 4,000 right now.
So
I would take
it. Shalakia, bro. I have another question.
Yeah.
Did Shanae confirmed or not? I haven't been following that, so I don't know what's going on with that.
You said Shanae.
Shanae.
Yeah. You talking about Ketanji Jackson Brown?
Oh Lord.
Yeah.
Oh my God. She's probably gonna get confirmed next week.
Yeah.
Well, let's hope she
take a
don't.
week.
I'm
They
not
usually
afraid
take
that she
a
don't.
they usually take a weekend to try to sweat it out a little bit, but she'll probably get confirmed by Tuesday. But the real reason why they're gonna bring her in there is that the crime bill, the next one is coming, and she's gonna be the tiebreaker vote. That's the only reason why they're bringing her in. That's why they were asking her all them questions about her rulings. They want to see how on code she is with the white supremacy.
Yeah,
But how do you bring someone in who don't even know if she's a woman or not?
I was getting ready.
They don't care about that. They need a liberal in there.
And I said that was a trick. That was a trick trap question because they were trying to see how she was going to answer that question. The thing is, it really wasn't really any right way she could have answered that question. But but whatever answer she gave, she was going to piss one side off. But she had to make sure not to piss the side off that she needed the support of.
Mm-hmm.
And that's exactly what she did. So to all the women out there that I would say this, to all the black women out there who may have support her, or even if you don't support her, as a black woman, how do you feel having this black woman up here when answer the question the way that she did when they asked her, what is your definition of a woman? Here you have a woman who's been a woman for 40 some plus years, and she couldn't answer.
Oh, she's 51.
For 51 years, who's been a biologically XX chromosome female for 51 years, asked the question of what does it mean to be a woman? And she gave that very weird, vague response. And I said, see, this is exactly why you got these pronoun people walking around here thinking they this, that, and the third, or they said, oh, you can't put a gender on this and a gender on that, because now you have women out here who don't know how to define what it is to be a woman.
Yes, sir.
I said,
hey, TG, before I step off, man, I want to. Hey, before I step off, I want to give a shout out to a previous program you did, man, and that was the one about Leah Thomas. I really don't walk in those circles, so that's not my fight to really care about. But I'm glad you brought up that thing in your video or your show about that theme, and I'm gonna say it like that because I have vitriol towards the alphabet community and Hall T, but the one that damn near killed that sister, and how they always want to try to pit them against our sisters, our black women. I mean, rather than put them in their own little freak category. I'm not trying to pollute your stream, but I just had to give you a shout out on that one you did about her. I think whatever. That was maybe yesterday. I just watched it this morning though.
Oh, you talking about Taurean?
TG, Tori.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, no problem. Yeah, I talked about Leah Thomas on my other channel before. That's the first time I actually talked about that individual. And then I said, you know what? It's so much stuff happening right now. And I said, let me just go ahead and put a video together. And yes, I truly believe in the heart, right here, that this is white women's fault. I got to shift the blame somewhere, because someone had actually left a comment on the video and they were saying how, it's like, white women do have blame in this, but black women also as well. I said, it's very easy to put black women in there, but I said, who's the one who has the pen? Who's the one signing all of these bills and giving them all these protections? I highly doubt it's a black woman. I mean, women can champion something like this all day, but guess what? Leah Thomas is not up there competing against other black women in swimming. They're competing against other white females mostly. I didn't see not one black female on that team, unless I missed something. And if it is, it might just be one versus the majority. And let's think about it. When it comes to swimming, that's a majority white sport. It's not a lot of black faces, whether it's men or women in that sport. Yes, so they're competing literally against other white women, and they're the ones that kept pushing for them to say, oh, if they feel like a woman, then they'll go ahead and be a woman. I said, y'all better be careful with that, because today they're entering your sports. The next day they've already started to do this. Y'all probably saw the video about the boy, I forgot what state it was in, who went into the girls' restroom and sexually assaulted one of the students that was there, and the father had went off about it. They actually apprehended the father for being mad about it. And then what happened? They got transferred to another school and did it to another female. And this person wasn't even a person who was transitioning. This was a boy who looked like a boy who just claimed to be a female just to get into the female restroom. And then that's when they finally slapped the cuffs on that boy and gave him some charges. So I said, y'all got to be very careful about, the direction in which you want to head with this. And the sad part about it is it's already headed in that direction. It's already going there. It's like a slow, steady thing that they're really pushing to go even harder. That's why I actually put that title on the thumbnail. It says when being overly progressive goes wrong, because you want to have all these things for a whole bunch of people, and you're literally opening up Pandora's box.
Yeah. And the
All
funny
right,
thing was,
Taurean
it really,
and KG.
yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna step aside. Let someone else come in. B1.
All right.
Much love to your work, and I'm going to subscribe to you. And like I say, F them. Fuck the Democrats.
B1.
All right, peace out, man.
B1.
All right.
It was funny because do you remember the case up in Connecticut with those girls that were doing the track and field, and those black. I'm gonna be careful not say the word that I say on your show because I don't want you to get in trouble. But those black wannabes, they were whipping them and getting all the records, and they were the ones coming out saying this is wrong, and everybody said that they were homophobes and all that.
Yeah.
That right there, that was their test to see how far they would go. So if they could silence some college kids, then high school would be a cakewalk. Middle school is going to be a cakewalk. And now you see it. Everybody's being accepted of it. So, shout out to Bumblebee and them. It's all good.
Right. Jay, what's going on?
Hey, Taurean, salute, brother.
Salute.
Hey, Taurean, I wanted to come up here, bro, and give you props. I saw your video on Travis Rudolph and the Stand Your Ground law and how it does not apply to black people when we use it to this brother was defending his home, and they were coming over there to murder him and his mom, his brother, and then when we have the famous Trayvon Martin case and how George Zimmerman was able to get off with Stand Your Ground. So that video just triggered me, bro, because so many times we as black people do not get to use the Stand Your Ground law, which is a law, and depending on which state you're in, and the type of justice that black folks get as opposed to white folks, it's just the disparity is just unbelievable. And I had to call and give you props on that video because I wasn't aware of the Travis Rudolph case.
Yeah, I wasn't. Well, first off, thank you. But I wasn't aware of it either until somebody had sent it to me. Like, that was a brand new story to me as well. But I wanted to actually talk about that because, like I said, there's a lot of stories that come out that I'm not too familiar with, and people send me stuff. And when I got that, I said, I literally always say how Stand Your Ground is one of the whitest laws in America because I have yet to see it really work in the favor of any black person. And it's like, I actually just came across another story that happened last month. I want to say that was in Florida as well, where you had this guy whose name is Corey Mariano Jr., who was inside of his home. And all of a sudden, they bust inside of his home at like 5 a.m. with both of his kids there. And he got his power tool and he buzzed back at them. Like, no one was shot, though. He wasn't shot, neither were they. And then they arrested him and everything like that, and like tried to like give him charges of attempted murder. And they also had his child, who was 1 and 3 years old, in the back of a police cruiser. And children like to explore. So his 1-year-old was leaning up against the door. Mind you, no one was in the car with the children. Leaned up against the door, and when someone opened up the door, the baby fell out of the door out and hit his face on the ground and had a busted lip and his nose. I said, luckily the baby is fine, because if the baby had fell on its head at 1 year old, 2 things would have happened: brain damage or death. So luckily the baby fell on its face, but you could actually see where the lip was busted right here, and it had a like a cut like right here on the nose. But fast forward to now, they ended up dropping the charges against him, because what happened was they said in the police report that because it's supposed to be a time thing when you're coming into someone's home like that. They said in the police report that they came into the home too early, and they just came in anyway. And they even put in the police report that they came in early. I said, well, if you put in the police report that you came into early, then how was this even a case? So you just arrested him because you wanted to, not because you were supposed to.
You just want to get somebody.
Exactly.
Somebody
Like
had to get.
they had to get somebody because they knew they messed up. And then on top of that, a child was injured in the process. So, and I said, thankfully they dropped the charges, because guess what? If they had let them charges stick, guess who would they put the blame on for his child's injury? They would probably put it on him.
And he would have lost. And they
probably would have turned into a whole custody thing. So, yeah. So luckily, you know, that worked out for him, and as fast as it did, because like I said, it happened last month and not last year. So they got on it real quick. Thankfully, he doesn't have Ben Crump as an attorney. That's probably why it got. That's probably why the process was a little bit faster.
You know what? I have something. I think Kenneth Walker is going to be the most important black person we have right now. Well, one of the most, because for him to shoot at police the way he did and not get charges, a lot of cases that, like you just alluded to, are going to be. A lot of those lawyers are going to say, "What about Kenneth Walker?"
At first they did, because like they had arrested him and he was in jail. But shout out to Judge Olu Stevens, probably the most on-code black judge or anyone in law since Johnny Cochran, and who was like, I'm looking at this like, why is this man even like, why is he even in my presence? Why is he in a jumpsuit? Like, we're gonna rip all this up and we're gonna free this man. He was protecting his home, and y'all came to the wrong house. Like, what is going on here? Let's see. We got Black Voltron in here. What's going on?
The legend.
Good afternoon, everybody. How y'all doing?
Good.
How you doing?
Good. Hey, Taurean, I just wanted to talk about that that William Thomas case, because that's a goddamn man. Fuck all that shit.
Go ahead.
I got to keep it 100. I've been following this for the last, 10 to 15 years, because I had a serious vested interest in this, because, my daughter, who's 21 now, but back when she started track and field, we were doing USA Track and Field and AAU, right? Mm-hmm. And these cases, were first started to kick in around 2007, 8, 9, 10. And everybody was asking, within the track and field community, youth track and field community, how is this going to affect our daughters? I mean, you talking about genderless bathrooms, and you think I'm gonna have my goddamn daughter with some
you kind of breaking up.
What this is doing is actually serious, and women's sports too, because they've already had that. I think Kid Graffiti Beyond was talking about that case out there in Massachusetts back in 2018, but this has been the plan all along. If you follow that letter from like 1987 about the gay agenda and stuff like that, they're here to essentially destroy society and stuff by making everything genderless, and there's no such thing as a man and a woman. But this rabid feminism and this crazy LGBT agenda, I think is like what Tariq says. It's only going to lead to pedophilia. Okay, and legalizing and allowing it to continue.
They're trying to normalize it.
That's the P that they pushing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and that's gonna destroy this. That's gonna destroy the United States, because I mean, let's if we understand our history, I mean, it's the same thing that destroyed the Roman Empire and the Greek empires. Just allowing this, just wild ass behavior and stuff just to go on and on and on and on, to the point where, how do we get from within the last 10 years to even ask, what is a man, what is a woman? This is throughout recorded history. We've always known. In the last 10 years, we're supposed to question that shit. Fuck all that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We got to stop being punks, okay? We got to stop being punks. We got to stop being, cowards. And we just got to stand up. Like, fuck them. That's a dude. And no, we're not going to compete against. We're not going to allow this nonsensical behavior to continue. This is what they used to put people in mental institutions for. Oh, well, I just woke up today. I'm a man. Well, tomorrow it's going to be, well, I just woke up today. I'm a little girl, so I get to play with your little girl. I'm a 40-year-old man.
It's interesting you said that about the mental institution, because, and I will always go back to this, and it's amazing how so many people don't even remember this or even realize this was going on, is that Hall T, as I like to call it, at one point, the World Health Organization, or WHO, actually had them in their book as a mental illness, as being as someone identifying as trans was a mental illness. And then a couple years ago, I don't know what kind of strings got pulled, but they pulled them and latched them to the Hall T, pulled them out and replaced it with gaming. So you're basically telling me people who are gamers are more psychotic or mentally damaged than people going out and changing their whole gender. That's what you're telling me right now.
Yeah.
And now that they don't and now that they don't have it established as a mental illness anymore, now people can't call them crazy. You're just supposed to just accept it. So basically, being a gamer is more not socially accepted than someone who's going out there and literally turning their body into a science project, is what you're saying.
Yeah,
all right,
literally.
hold on right quick. Go ahead. I got some more people we got to bring into the stream. We got Afro Elite, we got Nate, and it says I'm limited to 6 people. So eventually someone's going to have to rotate out.
All right, Torian, well, brother, well, I'm gonna let someone else get up on the panel, bro. I appreciate you letting me up on, bro.
Okay, I appreciate it.
All right, bro. And to the panel, peace.
All right, peace, man.
Be safe out there.
All right. And I'll bring Spidey in. Cool. What's going on, y'all?
Not really.
Yeah.
How's it going, brother?
I'm good.
Hey Jay, is that stream still going on your channel?
It probably is.
It
It probably is. I actually, when I did it, I didn't think about how long the stream was. I probably should have did this like either later on in the day or earlier, because it's like still going on. I'm trying to like stay in the stream, but I'm busy and I'm doing other stuff. I kind of like just got in the house. I'm like, oh man. But you know,
between that and them Twitter spaces, the marathon style Twitter spaces that you be having, oh my God. But
I gotta give the brother a salute. He got a lot of patience. I gotta give the brothers his kudos.
Yes.
Because I hear it, he wants to flip out on somebody, but he's like, you know what?
For real, like
everything I'm working for.
Yes, definitely. Like you about to hit that boiling point real soon, because like some of them people like that be in the space, because I be listening. Like even if I can't come up and speak, I do listen. But but first off, the one that you actually have going on your channel right now, the do's and don'ts of being on code, that was probably one of the best spaces you had, because like I said, you implemented between you and with the assist of Nino, who's also in the chat, of giving out them fines and them consequences. That was amazing. Like if y'all have a chance, like go over to Afro Elite's channel, possibly when it's done, because I'm not sure what hour he's in on, like as far as that premiere. I don't know how long it probably took you to get that uploaded, because that thing was like 5.5 hours long.
Yeah, I worked all night on that.
Yeah. When y'all get a chance, just go over there and actually see how in that space what being on code felt like, or what it was like, because a lot of people don't get a chance to experience, to actually see that happen in real time. And the thing is, no one said being on code was going to be pretty or that it was going to be nice. It's actually like, this is something that we as Black people have to put into place, because if we don't, like, it's an endless cycle. And the thing is, we have constantly had to start over and over and over again because of lack of a code. So we're done starting over. We're trying to like get the ball rolling and keep it going, because like, you know, you don't want to be around here like a car that's like raggedy or anything like that. You're trying to keep going forward. That's how you progress and keep moving. So definitely shout out to you for having the patience to even do that. But I wanted to address a question that's in the chat that came from one of my subscribers. They said, hey Taurean, can I ask you a question? Do you ever get a break from YouTube because you putting out a video every day? 3 videos a day at that. Well, 2 on Friday, if you count this stream. But yeah, I actually, I do get a break every now and then. That's probably why I'm glad I'm going on my trip to LA for my birthday that week, because that's probably going to be the most of a break that I'm going to have. So it's kind of a way for me to just kind of kick back, relax. I actually know some people out there, which is perfect. So it's not like I'm out there by myself. So that's probably going to be the most of a break that I really had. Torian
gonna have 15 videos lined up.
Oh, and trust and believe. No, I'm actually not. I'm actually not. I actually have it all like planned and all laid out and whatnot of how I'm gonna do it. I said, and I'm gonna say it now, but I'm end up saying it then too. Instead of doing 3 videos a day, I'm only gonna give y'all 1 a day. One
and maybe a live stream from LA.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Like, if I do a live stream, I don't know if I'm gonna do it while I'm there. I might do it when I get back, so I can tell y'all how my trip was and everything like that. Because I might be like coming and going, so I might not even have time to sit down and really like do a stream. So the videos are already going to be recorded. It's just that I'm gonna have them like set up 1 video a day, like probably from that Sunday to maybe that Saturday. Because like I said, I leave that Sunday and I come back that Saturday. So that's how it's going to going to be. And let me tell you something. When I first started this channel, I was putting out way more than 3 videos a day. I was putting out videos like every hour on the hour, because at that time I didn't have the subscribers like that to really send me stories like this. I had to go and like literally do the footwork myself. So that's why I'm glad I have the base that I have now, the Discord and everything, so people can send me stuff that actually helps out a lot. And that takes a lot off of my shoulders, to put out these kind of these videos every single day. Like, it's not like anyone could tell you, and I'm sure y'all will already know that this is not easy to pump out 3 videos a day. And like I said, I have like a backlog of so many videos because I record so many a week. And I try to do, if I can, maybe 2 or 3 videos recording a day. And like I said,
you do the thumbnails too, right?
Yeah. The thumbnails are simple though. The thumbnails are very easy to make. They look like they're hard, but they're really real simple compared to the thumbnails that I did for a little bit, where I was like cutting the image out and putting it like on a collage stuff. Like, now that's a bit more technical. But with this one, it's just getting the picture, putting it up there, throwing a little gradient up there, putting a title, and boom, there it is. I can do that in like less than a minute, like literally. Now when it comes to the Triple P thumbnail, I already pre-made that. The one with LeBron holding the violin and Nelson pointing. That's already pre-made. So all I do is I take the subject matter and put it in the middle of it and put a title, and that's it. So that's already pre-made. So it's like the thumbnails are not hard to make. Those are already up there. I just come up with a little catchy title, put it on the screen, and put it out there, and just let the video do what it does. Like, pretty much speaks for itself. Takes a life of its own, I guess you could say. But yeah, I'm glad that you asked that that question about like, do I take have a break for myself? But yeah, I act like I said I do. That's why I said when I go on my trip to LA, all the videos are going to be lined up. So it's not like I'm in front of a computer putting them up there. They're already going. That's the beauty about the scheduling thing. I can have one up for Monday all the way to Saturday. I just got to make sure that I'm not getting my days mixed up when you schedule the stuff far in advance like that. But that's pretty much it. And like I said, I probably won't be as active on social media like that during that week either. Like, that's just going to be a time for me to just like kind of like take like literally just kind of, I guess you can say, unplug or unwind and get back into the swing of things that following week. But I can't wait for that. Like, the countdown is on. I have been ready for this trip since October. It is finally almost here. I'm a little over a month away. Like I said in the beginning of the stream, I've already, like, some of the clothing items that I have ordered have already come in. Just waiting on a few more other things, and I'm gonna be ready to go. I'm one of the people that don't wait to the last minute. I don't know how people can do last minute stuff, especially when you're traveling by plane and you're going across country and you're literally going in 2 different time zones. I can't do last minute. Like, I'm the type of person that has to have this stuff laid out in advance, because that rushing thing, I don't do that. And then on top of that, the time that I'm leaving, I'm literally on the first flight out of DC on that Sunday, on the 1st. And that flight is like 6 something in the morning. And I land in LA around 9:30 their time. So it's like, I can't, do all the extra curricular stuff. I'm
gonna do a video on the plane.
Oh my God. I'll admit this. I'll admit that. Well, I don't know if I'm gonna do it or not because it might be too early. I'll say maybe I'll go live when I'm at the airport going away to leave, but that's not gonna work. So maybe I'll go live when I get to LA because people will be up because it'll be 9 something there, and it'll be 12 something here. So people will be up by the time I get over there and everything like that, and just say, hey, I'm here, and it is what it is. Of course, I'll keep y'all updated on the community tab, saying saying that I'm here. If y'all don't see me as active on here, y'all will know why. It's not like I'm just like leaving and people are like, where's Taurean at? At least I'll give you a heads up and saying, I'm in LA for the week. So if I'm not as active on here, that's why. And when I come back next week, it'll be like I never left.
Well, just know this, Taurean. It'll all be well deserved. That whole trip that you're setting up is very well deserved because you give us like literally great content like day in and day out. So you need some Taurean time. We all do. We all need some time to ourselves. And all I know is no disrespect to the tourists, but it is officially Aries season in a few.
We will not tolerate that slander on here.
I thought he did that himself. Man. I thought he did that himself.
Now what was that you said, Spidey?
Sorry.
Okay. Just checking.
Anyways, it's my I just want to say it's my day in a few days, and I'm gonna enjoy myself. No dissing nobody.
Well, listen. It's your day, but just keep in mind what's coming next. I'm just saying. But I can't even be upset because my dad is an Aries and his birthday was on Monday. So shout out to the Aries. Shout out to you. Shout out to anybody whose birthday is in the month of March. There you go.
My apologies again.
Let's be clear that the next sign is the best sign. Let's just be honest.
Hey, I'm not gonna disagree.
Oh, yeah, I forgot, Jay. You did say that you're a Taurus too. I found that out today.
I'm a Taurus too.
I'm not gonna disagree. I'm not gonna disagree with that. Y'all good.
I'm gonna be quiet.
Okay. As long as you know.
Taurean is quick on the trigger.
Yeah. He got that X over my name.
Pow pow.
Hey, I should have known that because usually I have my spidey sense, so I could tell that was coming.
Oh man.
What else?
Hey, Taurean, you saw that thing I put in the private chat, right? Did you click that yet? Yeah. I need you to look at that photo for about 10 seconds and tell me what's wrong with that photo.
Hold on, I'm looking at it now. Mm-hmm. I'm seeing a lot of black faces, a lot of black male faces, and it's a white female in the middle. Now, I'm looking at the title.
Mm-hmm.
You want me to read it out loud, like the title?
You can. I did a video on it. It's live on my channel. But yeah, read it.
Okay,
read it for everybody.
Well, first off, it's a picture of a white woman in the middle. She has her finger over her mouth as if she's trying to keep a secret. And behind her is a picture of a bunch of black men, and it looks like these are 50.
50. It's 50
black men. And these all look like black men that were murdered. I think because that's what I'm looking at. And the title reads, "How to Hide a Promiscuous Past from Your New Man. Sometimes the sex is so slamming you can't risk scaring him off. Here's what you got to do."
So this is basically teaching women how to lie for the next person. But the way I'm looking at it is like, okay, if you're a white woman who's had black men, do not tell your white suitor about you having black men.
And you know what it also looks like too? It looks like something out of Get Out. Is that what you was alluding to? Remember the movie Get Out? How she was. That's exactly what
I had to cut that part out of my video because I think I was going to get in trouble because I said, so you want to hide from your potential suitor your dark side.
Mm-hmm. That's what it looked like to me. Like if you remember the movie Get Out when she was sitting there eating the cereal and she was like looking for another potential victim because that's what they were. That's what it looked like to me when I was looking at that image.
Yeah, that whole article was it was wild to read.
I'm looking at the picture now. What I find and I know the article's disturbing. I'm just looking at the picture and the faces. These are black men who've been killed by the police. I see Freddie Gray in here, Eric Gardner in here, a whole bunch of other people. And I'm thinking to myself, what made them choose to use that picture or those pictures in the background? I find that very interesting.
Who really knows? The world will never know.
Yeah. I said this is reminiscent of what Kamami did when that person put up that picture of Kamami with all the black people she incarcerated. This is interesting. And it's a woman's website, by the way, who put that.
Oh, I can believe that. I can believe that. Yeah, that was a very disturbing image.
Yeah.
I had something I wanted to bring up really quick.
What's that?
So y'all was talking about Roland earlier. No, we need to be talking about other coons like and I mentioned this person's name before, like this cornball DL Hughley. Man, he goes on. I'm sick of seeing his ass go on Vlad like every few months or however often he go on there and just trashing people, man. Like, you ain't got shit else to talk about. Like, is that what your career has been regulated to? Nobody thinks your ass is funny.
I wonder how many times he's gone on the Russian. I refuse to call him by his name. I wonder how many times he's gone on his platform, because he goes on there a lot.
I've seen him on there. I saw him back on there since 2013.
And he keeps, it's almost like he goes on there every month. Like, it's almost like he goes on at a certain time of the month and he's always there. It's like, do you have a name? Do you have a name on the seat that says DL Hughley on it? And that's boom, that's your seat right there. No one else is allowed to sit in your seat. Hey Nate, hold on right quick, Spidey. Hey Nate, is that's your mic? Okay, go ahead, Spidey.
Sorry to cut you off. DL Hughley is just a full coon. That's just all there is to it. He want to talk about pro-black shit 1 minute, and then he goes on another platform and just says some low-key anti-black male shit. Like, fuck out of here with that, man. He's pissing me off.
And he was never that funny.
That's what I just said.
Honestly, like, it's funny that, and Jay, it's funny you said that, because when they were talking about who were the best people when it came to the Kings of Comedy, and as far as ranking goes, they said Bernie Mac, Cedric the Entertainer, Steve Harvey, D.L. Hughley.
Why do you think?
I went to both
D.L.
of
Hughley
them.
always came. And D.L. Hughley always. I mean, it's because they didn't want to have a tie and say that Steve Harvey and D.L. Hughley. They wanted to rank them in a certain numerical order. And for some, and the thing is, how some people will do their ranking systems and people's will be different. But if you ask anybody, Bernie Mac and Cedric the Entertainer, for the most part, always was number 1 and number 2 when it came to the ranking.
Because DL set wasn't funny until he started roasting the audience. His roast was old jokes that he used to use on Def Comedy Jam.
And let me tell you something. They had that shit planned, because, and what I mean by that is, they did the first, they did the weakest first, and then of course the best for last. DL was gonna go first because they know that he was a unfunny same joke telling ass motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? So like they were playing.
DL was at his best when he was roasting people. I went to both Kings of Comedy.
Yeah, I didn't. He didn't give the best. There were more.
Had the best set. And Steve Harvey was basically the MC. He wasn't. He would do his jokes in between the sets and on intermission. But as far as the jokes, it was Bernie Mac hands down. He took the house. Then said, I would say DL and Steve Harvey were about to tie, because even back then, man, you could see like Steve Harvey was kind of coony,
Right. They should have kept Guy Torrey. I think that was. Why did they replace Guy Torrey with DL Hughley of all people? Like, DL is always.
Guy Torrey is too real.
I forgot Guy Torrey wasn't. I forgot he was in the original lineup. Like,
Guy Torrey is way
better. That was kind of a rhetorical question. You know what I'm saying? So they know that DL was gonna coon for $1.
I remember when I was younger, my parents had like the DVD set of the Kings of Comedy, and and I would kind of watch it with them. They would kind of vet which ones I could see or not, because of inappropriate stuff. But the only ones they would ever watch was Bernie Mac. My folks are huge Bernie Mac fans, but Bernie Mac and Cedric. Besides that, they were all like, we can watch Steve if Steve is on TV. They were like, if he's on TV, we can watch Steve, but we're not going to like put Steve on the TV. Even then, I thought his TV show was funnier than his stand-up. And I didn't personally think his TV show was that funny due to him. I didn't think he wasn't even, to me, the funniest person in his own TV show.
Romeo was more funny.
That exactly.
The character, like his supporting cast around him was more funnier than he was. And the thing is, it all goes back to the writers. He probably contributed a little bit to the script, but maybe not a whole lot. Because if you look at the credits, it didn't, under writers, his name was really never there. So it's really about down to who wrote the his script and who wrote the lines. And of course, it came up to him as far as who delivered the lines. But a lot of people said when it came to the Steve Harvey show that it was his cast, the supporting cast around him, that helped make the show as funny as it was. Because like you were saying, like Romeo and Bullethead, like whenever they were together on screen, you was always going to be guaranteed a laugh out of both of them because they were always doing something. Like they was kind of like what's the name of that it's an old television show that those two kind of reminded me of.
About The Odd Couple?
No.
So like Laurel and Hardy.
And then of course you had that fat white chick from Nickelodeon come on the show.
Lydia.
Lydia.
Yeah, and she always, and then when they threw her into the mix as well with her, like with Romeo and Bullethead, and then it was the three of them. And then of course, it was always funny when they had Lydia Rage on there too. She was the bully, like she never could get Lydia's name right. She always called her everything else but that. She loved Romeo and everything like that, and she was always like a hardcore character. They brought her in and out of the show every now and then. Then of course, they brought Levita's character in because they wanted to give Cedric a love interest. And of course,
I even enjoyed. I'll say this about that show: they had some great guest stars. I believe they had Antonio Vargas, Don DC Curry, and Ron Isley, and many others.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they did. And that's the thing I liked about television shows back then is like they had a lot of popular, very good guest stars on a lot of different sitcoms, a lot of black sitcoms back then. Like I remember, like on the Jamie Foxx show, they had Ron Isley and Mary J. Blige on an episode together where he played her dad, where he didn't want her to sing quote unquote secular music. And, they had Ice Cube on in the West Side Connection.
Red and Meth.
Nothing beats the Mark Curry episode though at Traffic School. That's a great. That's the greatest episode ever.
Yes, that episode was funny. That episode was funny though. Like Mark Curry doesn't get enough props for the actor that he is in the roles that he is portrayed. This guy had a whole show, Hang with Mr. Cooper, which was one of my favorite shows.
That's an underrated show.
It is an underrated show. It is a very underrated show like that, and it had success. It stayed on for a few seasons. Because they said if a black show can last 100 episodes, that's considered a success.
You want to know another comedian that has blown up, and is still like semi-popular, but I would personally add him to like the long list of black men that they've gone after in entertainment is Katt Williams. I don't know how y'all feel about him, but to me they've been kind of fucking with him for like the last decade or so.
Because Katt's another one that's too real. He'll tell everybody the truth.
Yeah. You said what?
He's real and he's independent. Katt's independent.
I'm actually about to go see him next month here because he's supposed to be coming to my city here in Milwaukee. I'm about to go see him next month. But I heard like a week ago they had canceled, or I guess he was doing his set and there was like a bomb threat or something in Nashville at one of his shows and he had to cancel that shit. So it's like, what the fuck is going on? It seems like I said, for the last decade, a dark cloud has been over that man. They just keep on fucking with him. Just like they do Chris Brown.
One thing that was funny about Katt Williams was when he roasted Wanda on the radio show. That was classic.
Roasted who?
Wanda
down here in Atlanta.
Down in Atlanta.
V103 Wanda. And the funny thing, she lost her show with. Yeah, she lost her show in like 6 months after that.
Didn't she get her husband to fight?
Nah, he can't even pull out a gun on him. He was chasing.
Yeah, like it got that intense. But the funniest part to me was when he was asking her about her cooking abilities, and the broccoli. The cooking with the broccoli, that was so funny.
You know how to cook.
You boil water.
He was like, Wanda, what do you know how to cook, Wanda? He said, well, I make a good broccoli. I'm like, anybody could make broccoli. I mean, come on. What kind of dishes are you making? I mean, I know you're not like a Patti LaBelle or anything like that, but what like you got kids? Like, what were you making them when they were growing up? Like, what did you cook? That was hilarious. So funny. That and I remember when that first happened, I kept watching that over and over again. I said that one roast right there is probably what pushed Katt Williams back out there as far as popularity goes. Because it kind of laid low for a little bit. But that one roast right there actually had people wanting to pay to actually see him do stand-up because they were probably banking that he would talk about that in his stand-up. I know I would. Why not bank on that? Because, that was a funny situation. And then when he was there, she also tried to talk about his hair. He said, yep, and it's all my hair. He's like, it's all my hair too. He said, Wanda, can you do this, Wanda?
Do this. Can you do this?
No. See, don't do that here.
Speaking of his stand-up, one of my most favorite jokes by him is that I don't know if y'all remember, it was in like part 1 of Pimp Chronicles. He did like that DMX joke where he said he was in like a diner with him or something. He was like, hey yo bitch, can I get some water, add some lemon or something like that.
So
Oh, Nino, you're actually right. Katt Williams did, I forgot, he did win an Emmy back in 2018 because I think he was on an episode of Atlanta. He was on an episode of Atlanta, and he had won, I forgot for what category. But yeah, he did. Now that I remember it, he sure did. And he was playing he wasn't playing a comedic type of role. He was playing more of a kind of a serious role. He had some like little punchlines in there because they had to like remind you that Katt Williams is still a comedian, but he wasn't being funny. But he did like for a guest starring role, so he did win an Emmy. I forgot about that, but he sure did.
Now I'm not going to
part about that.
Oh, wait, hold on. Who's going first?
I think Spidey.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Well, my bad about that. But what I was gonna say is that I'm not gonna lie to you. He kind of lost some points from me. When he fought that 14 or 17-year-old or somebody a few years back, and he got whooped. I'm like, come on, bro.
Come on, man. He's only
he gonna look like
5'5".
Exactly. He grown. He's not gonna go fight a 17-year-old.
Yeah, like that would actually look bad on his part to actually go fight a child. I mean, we know Katt Williams is not a tall individual. We know he's a short guy, and that's why they picked on him because he's a short man. But if anything, those kids were being very disrespectful. Not only because it's because it's Katt Williams, but because this guy is older than you. He's old enough to be your dad, and you're being that disrespectful to him. And then y'all jumped him and expect him to fight back. I said that would look bad on him to be fighting some kids because he already knew what the optics would have looked like, what the headlines would have said.
And they forget that he has that thing on him. He got that power tool on him. So how that would have looked?
I mean,
that's what I meant. I thought he did fight back. That's what I meant.
He ran as well. He should have. And people were clowning him for running. I was like, he did the smartest thing ever.
If I look,
I thought he threw the first punch though. That's what I was clowning him about. He threw the first punch. He should have just let the kid. He should have just walked away. But I don't know.
That was lose regardless. I mean, if you hit him and knock the little kid out, you knocked out a little 14-year-old. You get your ass whipped, you getting clowned, for getting beat up by a 14-year-old. I mean, what could you do in that situation?
But one thing I can say is that did not hover over him like for way longer than it did, because it stayed around for just a little bit, and then something else happened and people forgot about it. Like it's to the point where now if you weren't around then you wouldn't remember it, but if you were and it gets brought up, then it's whatever, and then it's like ha 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 and move on to the next thing. Nate, was you trying to say something?
I mean, if I was Katt Williams and I got popped like that, I mean, by that kid, I mean, look, we have to be reckoning. I might get that charge, but hey, that kid,
you gonna beat up a 14-year-old, Nate?
He said, "I'm about to." He said, "I'm about to." He's like,
They
"I'm
said,
about
I
to
don't
risk it all."
care.
Now,
Oh,
He
look at
said, I don't
his
care if
ass.
you 14 or 44. I'm whooping your ass.
You catching his face?
now,
I mean,
Oh my
I mean,
god.
okay,
I mean, some of
okay.
these kids just be on some, they want to act like adults. I mean, look, I
mean,
wouldn't,
They gonna whip the black off of him.
I
But
wouldn't
clearly,
molest the kid.
it's clearly
I wouldn't
evident.
teach him molester.
It's evident Nate would do it. Look at his avatar; he has icon on there.
Yes,
Enough
he does.
said. Of course, he would do it.
I feel
Start
like
him out, Nate. Come on, man. Start a little boy out. Come
one
on,
of the
man.
reasons I
Don't beat
feel
up
like
no
they put it
14-year-old
last
dude.
is
He
Come
gonna say,
on,
I'm
man.
beating you up because your daddy didn't do it.
I mean,
if we think about it, if he did, let's say first off, from what I was told, he got jumped by multiple kids. It's not like it was a one-on-one fight where he was just fighting one single kid. But let's say he beat up the kid. That would have been. I mean, can you imagine where his career would be now? I mean, you have to think about that. It wasn't going to kill him. So you could take the ass whooping and continue your career, or you can beat this kid's ass and then that's it. Or that might potentially be it. It was a cloud over his head for a little bit, but then people joked it off. People turned it into a joke. Nobody would have turned it into a joke if he beat the kid up. Right.
Facts.
Yeah, and on top of that, like people still, and even though at the time Katt Williams' career wasn't as high as it was, like say when he was on Friday After Next, people still know who Katt Williams is, and he probably knew that if I'm to get back out there, if I act in the way that I want to, in the way that the public will receive me, I will never get a chance to really put myself back into the way that I once was. Like I'm really now going to have to fight my way to get back to at least some kind of notoriety or notable status. So he had to like really think about this situation. And to be honest, a lot of people, some people was actually on his side and, said that what the kids were doing was disrespectful, because let's not act like a lot of these kids out here are some angels, because they're not. And before we go any further, let's get to this dono. Shout out to Gnome King for the $10 super chat. He says, "You never live down getting your ass beat on camera. A dude as I beat and posted online way back in 2008 still gets reminded of it till this day. It hurts his quote-unquote gangster rapper image tremendously."
Yeah, but I mean, Katt Williams is still like a big draw, and let's be real, y'all. He's still a black man, and he would have got charged, for child endangerment, child assault, assault on a minor that's 14. He would have got the book thrown at him, I think he did the right thing.
Yeah, but let's think about this. And I hate to bring this up, but also going back to Pimp Chronicles Part 1, towards the end, he kind of threw shade at Michael Jackson. So you can kind of say all the stuff that he's been through is kind of sort of in a way karma. So that's the only thing I hold against Katt. But other than that, he's been speaking truth to power.
I mean, everybody's been throwing shit at Michael.
And the man been dead for since 2009.
13 years.
And making more money than some people who are alive. I mean, I was looking up the receipts, and this guy has made more money, almost more money dead than he's been alive, and he's been alive longer than he's been dead. That's the crazy part. His estate is still getting broke off to this day. The only thing I hate is that his family doesn't really have control of the estate like that. But you know how that goes. Hopefully, when his kids, when they can get some kind of hold of it, so they can control it and like make sure they hold on to it. But I wanted to address a question that somebody left in the chat by Johnny Ali. He said, "Taurean, do you know who Molly Qerim is?" Yes, I do. Unfortunately, I am aware of who Molly Qerim is and Sarah Spain, and I definitely did a video on both of them heifers. And I can't wait to have y'all hear what I have to say about them. But in case y'all don't know who Molly Qerim and Sarah Spain is, these are two over-the-hill heifers over at that mouse-owned ESPN who had a bunch of stuff to say about Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson and that whole situation that he had going on. They got upset, not only because he seemingly is going to most likely be cleared of everything he's been accused of, but because he now has this huge contract with the Cleveland Browns because he got out of the Texans. He's now with the Cleveland Browns, and they gave him a $230 million contract, and he has like $1 million already coming his way. I don't know how long the contract is supposed to last. 5 years.
5
Okay.
years.
So Molly Qerim and Sarah Spain got upset that this man is getting all this money. You had Molly, who, in case y'all didn't know, she used to be married to Jalen Rose. I don't know how they even managed to be in the same house together. But she basically came out and said that he doesn't deserve it, and he's all this and that. But Sarah Spain, she took the cake with the comment. She said, how are they going to work with someone who put these guys in an environment with a potential serial predator? Those were her words. Then she had the nerve to bring up Cosby. I said, of course.
Who doesn't bring up Cosby?
And so
it was the same thing with BNC. It's the same thing that BNC did when he had Brittany Cooper and that other chick on there, and Mark Lamont let them call that man the R word. I was like, he should have just.
Oh, you mean Professor Clump?
Yeah, Professor Clump.
I can't believe she actually.
That's a dumpy
I can't believe she has the nerve to call herself
looking
that.
ass.
I don't know what
the same woman. That's the same woman that said that her obesity is attributed to Trump's election.
Yeah,
I'm looking at it like
food doesn't because of Trump. Like Obama didn't have any.
Exactly, you was big before Trump, and you're still big after him. Like,
she big bone.
What's that meal plan and that that meal prep and that exercise plan looking like? Shout out to Rojo for the dono. He says, "Come on, many people use MJ as a punchline. We don't cancel them. Not that serious, fam. 2 fists. I appreciate the $20 dono." But yeah,
we use him as a but you saw how we got on Jessie Wu for that joke she made on Whitney Houston. She knew better.
I got a comment about. I mean, that touch. I can kind of agree. It's very it's like a thin ice type of thing when you're joking about somebody who's not here anymore. You can do it if it's in good taste, I guess. But it's such a rarity that you can actually do it and it honestly be funny and respectful at the same time, which is why most people kind of stay away from that, or most jokes don't really land that well because it comes off as disrespectful. And
I'll let you finish, Afro. My bad.
Damn, it is. I kind of feel some type of way. Like, I feel like if you make a joke about Michael, you have to do it in a way that's kind of respectful, in a way that kind of pays homage to Michael as well too.
Right.
But a lot of people, what they say is they make jokes, and this is something I have with people who call themselves comedians. They say they're making jokes and it's just a joke, but what they're really doing is being disrespectful and throwing shade, and then hiding behind the fact that I'm a comedian, so I get away with that. And they don't do that just with Michael. They do that with a lot of our icons as well too.
Yeah, like I said, Jessie Wu did that with Whitney Houston, and she got chin checked for that. Like, you don't make a joke. She did. A lot of FBAs went after her for that. And then she tried to clean it up, talking about, oh, it's a joke. It's a joke. I'm like, no, it's not funny. Because imagine if we made jokes about Dessalines and Lil Overture. I don't think you would have said, oh, y'all gonna tell me that was a joke.
I know a black
Maybe we should
comedian
start making
get up
jokes
there
about Dessalines and Lil Overture.
Like, I know no one would get up there and make a joke about Khalid Muhammad. I have yet to hear anybody do a stand up and even put his name as a punchline, because they already know that it's just some people that you don't touch when it comes to these certain topics. And I think when it comes to Michael Jackson, I think it's because a lot of his career after a certain point was shrouded in a lot of controversy that was not true. So when people constantly make jokes about, oh, he was touching kids and all that stuff, like, even when it was proven not to be true, people feel a type of way about that, because like, it's not true. Why are people still making a joke about it, even as a punchline? It's not true, because you have some people that want to believe that it's true when it actually isn't. Just like when people keep talking about bringing up Bill Cosby, it's like, we know the real. We know that it was a hit piece to go after him. Now, the French actor, he's up for grabs. Now, you wanted to do jokes about Juicy. It is what it is, because he brought that on himself. Now, that's someone people aren't going to be jumping out the window saying, oh, don't talk about Jussie and anything like that, because he literally put himself in a bad spot. He put us in a bad spot kind of too. So it's like, it is what it is.
And
Black LGBT will go after you.
To touch up on that, if you,
like-
I don't
and
know
like
if you guys have seen this, the Chris Tucker, his stand-up, where he was talking, he made jokes about Michael Jackson, talking about his relationship with Michael Jackson. I thought that was funny, and you're right, Taurean. It didn't really touch on Michael's controversy. You just touched on how Michael acted like as a person
Around
in
him.
their personal relationship.
Yeah.
And that's a joke, though. You can make jokes in good taste, even if they are about somebody who's not here anymore. But a lot of people, when they say they make quote unquote jokes, they're touching on, just like Taurean said, they're touching on old controversial things about like his allegations of touching kids and his skin bleaching and all that. They're touching on controversial things that was not true. That was proven lies. And they're kind of touching on that to kind of almost slandering, almost to an extent. It becomes slander at a point. So
and like I said,
there's a level, but most people don't do it right.
Right.
And like I, okay, I can go. Okay.
Yeah, you can go.
And like I said, and like I said, you know, I'm not gonna harp on it, but I just had to make a point because when did Pen Chronicles Part 1 come out? Like 2006, so literally a year after that 2005 trial, I believe. So yeah, and so what I'm saying was the jokes was about the allegations, and I do kind of feel like that was kind of sort of imposed in poor taste. But I get what you're saying. But like I said, he didn't have to go. He kind of went a little too far with that. But like I said, I'm not going to completely hold that against Katt because he has grown from that. So that's all the point I was making.
And that's what I was saying. Like,
and after,
and then when I was doing my live stream on my main, not my main channel, my original live stream channel last week, when I was showing that clip, I don't know if y'all saw it or not, but it was him. It was Michael, Janet, and Catherine, his mother, their mother, inside of a truck, inside of a caravan after the trial, and they were trying to get out. And that Gary, Indiana, came out of all three of them because they looked like they was about to go in. Michael was ready to hop out of that van and like literally
beat the cops up,
because of what the cops was doing. Like that's why I say I don't know why people underestimate what Michael Jackson like. They heard that soft voice and they thought that he was like a soft person. I said no, Michael Jackson, based on stories I've heard, was known to check people. Like he let that. I said, don't let the high waters and the socks and the glove and all of that fool you.
Mike is black. Mike is melanin on the inside.
And like I said, he's from Gary. He's from Gary, Indiana.
Yeah, he's from Chicago. He's basically from Chicago.
He grew up. He had a
Gary, Indiana, baby.
Like short upbringing in in a very bad area in Gary, Indiana. Like all like packed inside of that small. Like y'all people act like this man did not know poverty. He wasn't born with a silver spoon. That Gary never left him. In case people didn't know, if y'all ever get a chance, look up Michael Jackson's shadiest moments. The stuff is funny as hell, but it's like he be checking people. Like he actually one time said one of his people was going to be fired on stage while he was singing in a song because they messed up a chord. He literally integrated into the song that someone was getting fired, and they probably most likely did. Before we go further, Roger, thanks again for the super chat. He said, let me clarify, FBA only can make soft-hearted jokes about our icons, nothing dissing or fallacy laden, and no one outside the FBA community should hold their tongues.
Yeah, I think class would be like how Dave Chappelle and Charlie Murphy talked about Prince and stuff, and Charlie Murphy True Hollywood Stories and stuff on the Chappelle show. I mean, that was classy. That was funny. Yeah, and it was true too. I mean, because Prince could really ball like that, So and Rick James too. I think that those were classy because they were based on true events. But all this Michael Jackson slander, man, it's just like, man, the man been dead 13 years, man. It's like, give this shit a rest.
People
this
do not talk about the business side of Michael Jackson.
Nah, he was.
I do. I do.
They don't never want to talk about that.
Except for Taurean.
I make sure to let people know that Michael Jackson was more than just an entertainer. This guy was, as Kid Gravity said, was a shrewd businessman. Like this man did not amass most of his wealth just off of album sales alone. I mean, at that time, yeah, but his business ventures really started when he got that Beatles catalog back in the 80s.
Yes,
that was
sir.
the
He
that
almost
was
bought
the
Marvel.
beginning. That was the
He-
beginning
yep.
of his
And with
wealth right
Spider-Man.
there.
Yeah,
was
and he
almost
almost
Spider-Man.
and he was going to
Yeah.
be a
He almost
majority
bought
interest
Marvel,
in
man.
Sega,
That would have been cool, bro.
and he was
Yeah,
going to
That
be a
would've been
he
majority.
did
cool.
say
I'm
he wanted to
telling
be. He did say he wanted to be
Yeah.
Spider-Man. Like,
Man.
yeah, he was like he
I don't know if
almost
I can
bought.
see that,
Imagine
bro,
that.
but that.
No, I think that actually is true. Like they actually like documented that somewhere. But
Yeah, he was gonna.
um,
He was also gonna try to buy Sega also.
speaking of Sega, you know, he like they used some of his songs like in the Sonic 3 game.
Yes,
Like
sir.
if you listen to the medley, it sounds like Smooth Criminal and like Stranger in Moscow. But
He was
yeah,
gonna buy
Michael
Sony
Jackson.
Entertainment.
Michael Jackson had his hands in a lot of things. I think the next big venture that he had was when he got that Sony publishing. Now imagine this: this guy got the Beatles catalog, and he had half of Sony's publishing, which means he's making money off of his own music plus every artist on that label, and over half because he says I want over half, so I'm gonna take 51% instead of 50. I said that's so
that was a
petty.
big power move.
I said that was so
power
petty.
move.
He couldn't take it more, and he actually had the nerve. And this is how you knew Michael Jackson was about that life, because he did something that a lot of people at that label were scared to do when it came to the owner of the then owner of that label of Columbia, and that was Tommy Mottola. When he got up there in front of a bunch of black people in Harlem and called this white Jewish man the devil in front of
Who I think
everybody.
was also Italian.
Everybody. He knew that this was going to affect his album sales because that was around the time when he was getting ready to release Invincible. And he knew that this was going to affect his album sales. So he got up there and he said it, and it did affect his album sales because I think Invincible became one of his lowest selling albums ever. But it was still a good album because I remember I had got it, my dad had bought it for me.
Which cover did you have?
I had the white cover.
Okay.
I forgot it did have
Me
multiple
too.
colors.
It
I
did
forgot
have
it did have multiple. It had like a white, a green, a blue,
green,
or orange,
and the black one, and the gray one.
Yeah, I had the white.
I don't care what people say. They did what they did to Michael Jackson is the same thing they did to Sam Cooke and Otis Redding and many others. They got him up out of here, you know. Now he's gone.
Like I said, thing about it is, I was actually watching a video on YouTube where it was somebody had their child. It was a baby, like literally a baby that looked like they probably were born like only a few months old, and they had their baby watching the I want to say it was Beat It, the Beat It video. And when I tell you this baby was smiling the whole time, and when it got to certain points, the baby was kicking their feet and throwing their arms around. I said, that's just the power that this man had. He has children that will never experience him alive, still moving and like embracing his music. I said, like, that was just the power that this man had in his, I would say, in throughout his entire body. Like they said, Michael Mania back in the 80s was real. You know how a lot of people, like, you know, they have their different clubs like the Beehive for Beyonce and stuff like that. Michael Jackson had that whole, like, he had the whole. This is a man who had grown men passing out of his concerts.
Yeah,
how many?
I was going to mention that. You remember that concert when he stood up there for 5 minutes, didn't say a word, everybody was going crazy.
Everybody's going crazy, passing out, screaming to the top of their lungs. I'm losing their voices, losing their minds, and he just stood there. That's what, like how it was when he performed at the Super Bowl. He popped out of the stage and just stood there for like they said he stood there for like 2 minutes and 30 seconds. And I think when one of his band members was like, okay, Michael, we need the signal. We're just standing here. We don't know when you're gonna go. And the signal was when he reached up and pulled his shades down. Yeah. But they was like, Michael, how long? Because this is a timed event. This is not a concert. So we got like 15 minutes because they got to bring the players back onto the field. They said at that point, people forgot it was even a football game. They said, no, this is a Michael Jackson concert featuring some football players at this point. But yeah.
Mike, rest in peace to Mike.
Oh, most definitely.
I was
always forever a huge.
I do have a question. Since Taurean's into movies, did you, when you went to see Batman, right? Did they play the trailer for the Elvis movie?
Please do not bring that movie up, man.
They did.
I saw the movie, and I saw that trailer too.
All right, hold up before we go into that. Again, shout out to Rojo again, like literally donating like crazy today. He said the last part of my second donor was a misprint. Non-FBA need to take a lot of seats and hush it is what I meant to say. Okay. All right, go ahead. But yeah, I did see the trailer. That's actually my first time seeing it because I knew that they were coming out with an Elvis movie, and I saw that there was a trailer online, but I didn't watch it because it wasn't something I would have been interested in. So when I watched the Batman, and they, you know, like they kind of showed the silhouette and stuff like that, I was like, oh, this must be that Elvis movie that they were talking about. But go ahead.
It looks it looks horrible. It just looks horrible.
I just want to know how they're gonna portray black people in it.
And before Kid Gravity continues, because you know, I'm sorry to cut you off, Kid Gravity, but before you continue, let me say this, man. Elvis, he's from a long list of artists that stole from Little Richard, Chuck Berry, and Bo Diddley, and many other kings of rock and roll that we don't even talk about. You know, Elvis is like Elvis next to Eminem is one of the biggest culture vultures. Period.
You know, an interesting thing about that, I saw the trailer, and one of the things that stood out to me is that they're gonna play this like racial element. This is just from the trailer, from what I've perceived. They're gonna play like a racial element, and they're gonna kind of make Elvis seem like
the baby
ally to black people. And I just saw the trailer one time, just the first time, and I'm in the movie theater sitting in the seat, and they were talking about like the civil rights movement, and then there was a bunch of white folks talking about that's not our problem, or that doesn't have anything to do with us, or something like that. And then he was like, no, it has something, like he was like standing up for black people, so to speak. So I'm like, oh, okay.
Elvis
so
the activist.
Yeah, kind of
exactly.
Like making him like
he was not friends to black people.
After he done stole the music and all the moves and everything else, he's gonna all of a sudden be in 1955, 1956, during the height of Jim Crow, he's gonna be an activist for foundational Black Americans. That's
Gravity's up there crying, laughing. That's why he had to turn his camera off.
Kind of like that Harriet movie and shit, just revisionist bullshit.
Exactly. Which I'm so glad. No, go ahead.
Sorry, Afro. But yeah, Elvis. We all talk about Elvis, but who wants to talk? Whoever talks about, like I said, Bo Diddley, Big Mama Thornton, Muddy Waters. What's that other one? From Chess Records down in Chicago.
Chuck Berry.
Yeah.
The lady.
I said him before, but I meant to say Howlin' Wolf as well. And many others, like I said.
Oh yeah, Howlin' Wolf. Yeah, the blues.
Bats Domino.
Those school blues players. Yeah.
You know,
I gotta get the Elvis movie credit though. They are gonna have a lot of black people in it. I gotta give them credit on that.
I'm still not supporting it.
I'm not gonna support it either. Especially
you don't know how they're gonna portray him. Don't say that.
I know, no, they're gonna make him the baby face, but I love how they're gonna use Tom Hanks in that movie, and we already know his history. But you know, you got to sell the tickets somehow because the guy they have playing Elvis, I never heard of him before, so I was like, all right, whatever. And then I saw they showed the newspaper clipping of MLK dying, and he looked like he was about to cry and all this. Then they moved over to him going to gospel music. I was like, oh, here we go. He's gonna be the new Joel Osteen. Here we go.
Jay, what was you about to say?
Yeah, I was about to say it's always some angle like that, and they're really trying to. And I've noticed this a lot. Speaking of Eminem, because somebody
that was one of the spaces that you did.
Yeah, I really like that space. I had to get off to get on my live, but there's a lot I wanted to talk about with Eminem because I don't know why too often people don't really like to talk about that like we should, but they're turning these white artists into like allies. They're doing the same. They're trying to rebrand Elvis into he was like a musician / activist, and they're kind of trying to do the same thing with Eminem too. If you guys remember him taking the knee at the halftime show. Or his raps against Trump. So they're trying to kind of rebrand Eminem into like some type of activist. I've seen articles talking about his activism and things like that. So they're trying to rebrand Eminem, and now I'm seeing this is the same strategy they're doing with Elvis Presley. So that's kind of like what the white boy rebranding to make them, to put them on like some type of crown or pedestal or something like that.
Oh, you know he's an activist now because he took a knee at the Super Bowl.
This is the same Eminem that like I said, who made a diss record shading black women. Fuck him for that. And also, he was one of many people to throw shade at Michael Jackson. I remember that was a big controversy.
And Michael Jackson got some of his publishing well. So really, did Michael Jackson, like, that was nothing for him. He was gonna make money regardless. So it is what it is. That's why I said the magic of that man. I said nobody is ever going to be able to reach them levels again. And speaking of Michael, to go back to him, I'm tired of people keep trying to say that they trying to make this person and that person the next Michael Jackson. There is no next Michael Jackson.
Thank you, Taurean.
Only one.
Thank you.
And I talked about that on my channel when people kept trying to say that they were trying to make The Weeknd the next Michael Jackson.
Hell
The
no.
Weeknd is not the next Michael Jackson. Definitely not no Justin Bieber or Justin Timberlake. Not Usher. The only
not
person,
Drake. Not Drake.
Drake, they not even in the same category. But the only person that Michael Jackson said that he said was the next big thing was Chris Brown. And I think that society got scared when they heard him say that. And how ironic that Chris Brown's career kind of took a spiral shortly after Michael had made that statement.
Shouts out to Chris Brown, by the way.
Yeah, because he brought them receipts.
Dodged the bullet.
Oh,
he brought them.
He
brought
definitely
those
dodged
receipts.
the bullet.
And I made sure to talk about that on my live stream last week. You know, he had all those text messages and he had that voice recording. And I said they need to go after these women who lie on these men about these alleged assaults that they attempted to do to them that they did not do. And they need to put them on the Summer Jam screen. I said, that's where I said, if people want to talk about the sexism bias that men deal with, that right there is a perfect example of that. Because if it happened to be true, they will always put the man out there, but they'll never put out the women that actually commit these acts. I don't know why. Because if it had been me, I would have made sure to put all her stuff out there. I don't care how it would have made me look. You can say whatever you want on whatever one of these blog posts about how it made me look. This person right here tried to ruin my reputation. So I'm going to do my best to ruin them.
Well, they can't do that.
I'm glad. Okay. I'm glad that he actually waited to put the receipt, because he had it the whole time. But I'm glad he waited to kind of have the case build up to almost its climax, to be all like, she was lying the entire time. Everything she said was made up, instead of squashing it when it first started. Because I think this can go further into, this actually happens a lot more often than people are giving it credit for. Because unfortunately in society, and I know the I don't know if I could say the R situation or assault, it is a very tricky thing. And you don't want to just automatically say one person's lying or one person's not. But we have a thing where we're very biased towards the women. And it's almost as if to even accuse her of not telling the full truth is automatically makes you sexist, automatically means you're defending him and he's wrong. So I'm glad that he waited till after that. So now we can actually start to have the conversation of, hey, actually, this happens a lot more than people make it seem. And the only reason people talking about this situation is because it's Chris Brown and he's a big star. But to the average guy, this stuff happens.
Mm-hmm.
So this
Brian Banks, for example.
You said, I'm sorry?
Brian Banks, for example.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with that story?
I've heard of that name. I know about the accusation, but I need to look into it.
Like they actually did a movie about it a couple years ago with Aldous Hodge, and I actually went to go see it and did a review for it on my channel. And I have to be honest with you, I didn't think I was going to make it through that review because I got extremely emotional, raw
Dude.
emotion when I did
Then it
that.
also had Morgan Freeman.
My Netta Gibson need to go to hell.
Yeah, like
she needs to go burn in hell.
That Brian Banks story is going to hit you. Like it's going to like you. And I remember when I went to go see it because it was in the morning time when I went to see it, and they had bought a majority black football team, like some high schoolers, to go watch the movie because Brian Banks was a black high schooler who played football, and they had all the black high schoolers who was in there with me watching the movie, and I think it's more so because they wanted to see if they could see themselves, hopefully not get in that situation like he did, even though that situation was completely not his fault, but they just wanted them to be aware of, they're at that age, of course. Hormones are through the roof. We know what to do. We've all been there. But you just have to be careful of like the people that you're with because you never know what people's ulterior motives actually are. But that story was crazy because he, like someone said, he literally lost everything. Like he literally spent
6 years
good portion of a good portion of his life in jail behind a lie.
And if it wasn't for that dumbass bitch trying to follow him and get at him and get with him again on Facebook or Twitter, I believe it was, he would still be listed as a sex offender.
Yes, sir. Thank God he recorded it.
Yeah, and like Jay, if you get a chance, just go and watch the movie because it breaks down like the stuff that happened, even to the point where it was hard for him to get employment. How hard it was for him to attain a lawyer. Because he had to jump through so many hoops to get one lawyer to even hear his case, to take his case on because of so many technicalities. But finally, when he did attain that lawyer worked tooth and nail for him. Like he actually was, after he did all the stuff that he had to do, the hurdle jumpings and the hoops jumping. And once he got that lawyer, the lawyer actually came through and actually helped him win his case. And there's a very famous image of Brian Banks when he gets the charges dropped when he's in the courtroom and he has his head down on the table and he's crying. That's a very famous image right there. And every time I look at that picture, I find myself, my blood boiling because it's like, and not only was she wrong, but her mother, the girl's mother, was just as bad because her mother knew that her daughter was lying, and she got the money, and she went because they got the settlement. She got the settlement.
Like millions of dollars.
They got 1.5 million, and then she lost it in 3 years.
They should have got charged. They should have got charged
because the mother, because the settlement.
Well, here's the thing with that. The school district did sue her and her mother to get the money back, but they said that there was no feasible way they were ever going to get that money back because she wasn't working. I think she had like a 2-bit job, and her mom, I think, was retired. So
shame on her.
They just talked them. They said just talk it up to the game.
But
Jay, at least
if you get a chance, definitely watch that movie. Yeah. It's a really deep movie, and unfortunately, it's a very underrated movie because it did not get pushed like that by mainstream. Like that movie did not. I'm surprised the movie even came out, but it did not get pushed by mainstream media, which we expect. It kind of had the effect that that Birth of a Nation had, except with all the controversy that they tried to put with Nate Parker. But it kind of did the same thing with that. And ironically, both of those movies came out the same year. Because Brian Banks came out.
I think the Brian Banks one came out in 2018.
It also came out during the.
So when Birth of a Nation came out in 2019?
No, I thought Birth of a Nation came out in 2015.
Oh, you're right. 2016. I'm sorry. I'm getting my dates mixed up. But 2 years apart. But it didn't get pushed like that. Like mainstream media didn't get pushed like that. And I remember saying to myself, when this movie comes out, I'm gonna go watch it, and then I'm gonna go ahead and review it. And I did not expect to actually get in my. I got in my feelings when I did
that whole story. Wasn't Morgan Freeman in that movie? If I'm not mistaken.
No, Morgan Freeman
that was an independent movie.
Morgan Freeman wasn't in Brian Banks.
Yeah, is Brian Banks the guy who kissed that white girl in
he's
in that town?
No, he
got charged all them years.
No, you talking about the I think his name is Albert something. I forgot his last name. You're talking about that happened later. That happened like much later because that just happened.
No, Brian Banks was the one who he was a football player and he was getting ready to go, I think, UCLA, and he one day was kissing Juanetta Gibson in a stairwell, just making out. And he felt her up. And all of a sudden she ran and said that he R'd her. And nobody else was there. So they believed her. He had to go sit down for like 2 years before he even got charged with the actual stuff. So all the scouts left, all the NFL teams left. His school took away his scholarship.
Of course.
Then he gets charged, sat down for 6 years. She got $1.5 million. And then it comes to find out she lied because his lawyer was smart enough to tell him, listen, when she comes to visit you, make sure you record it. And she was recording, say, and she recanted everything on there. And he even admitted if he didn't record that, he'd still be sitting in jail.
Damn.
We did make a mistake. It said Morgan Freeman was in that movie, but I forgot that he was in.
I forgot.
And Sherry Shepherd was in there too. She played his mother.
I know. Yeah, he played his mother.
What year was this?
Morgan's? 2018.
I'm gonna check.
What was his character again?
Didn't this movie also come out during the same time as that Central Park 5 movie that I also haven't seen? But I don't know.
That came out
was 2019. Later. It was 2019.
He played a character named Jerome Johnson. That's what it has him listed as. But I cannot remember him. He must have had a small part because I cannot. Morgan Freeman stick out like a sore thumb. But yeah, I
said he was a lawyer.
No, he wasn't. I don't think he was a lawyer. The lawyer was a white guy.
Right.
The white guy was the lawyer. But that Brian Banks movie is a very good. It's a very emotional movie. Like it's gonna make you feel some type of.
Yeah, but it was good that the Atlanta Falcons gave him a shot. So yeah, I do commend.
Oh, they did. Oh, okay.
Yeah, they gave him a shot, but he didn't make the team. He was on the practice squad, but he played some preseason games, but he didn't make the team. Because then the NFL hired him.
And so the thing is that it met. The thing is because when it comes to the NFL, your body, it's like a biological clock on your body.
Right.
The thing is, he was considered too old by their standards to really get in, and because of all the things that happened, his best years was behind him. Because
but at least the NFL gave him they gave him a job in the front office for like 3 years.
Yeah.
The only off-code thing is he married a white one, but we're not.
And come on, man, are you serious?
No, I'm dead serious. He married a white woman.
That's one of the things.
Yeah,
and he probably.
I think they divorced though, but yeah,
he probably did it. He probably did it because the person who accused him of doing that was a black girl.
Yeah.
And she was
I didn't hear about this story.
And she was ratchet as hell too. Like if you watch the movie,
Juanetta Gibson, come on, the name Juanetta, come on now.
And she and her mother was ratchet.
How you spend 1.5 in 3 years? How you spend 1.5 million in 3 years?
Black Karens, as our brother Taurean would say, and that's the thing. Taurean, you remember that broadcast I did about the black men dating white women and the comment I got? Yeah. And I was going through the comments and somebody was saying I was being racist for speaking out against interracial relationships, and that is something that I've been trying to say for years, even before I was like really on social media or before I was on YouTube or whatever. I'm like, these y'all don't understand the power difference between white people and black people if you think that this relationship is okay. And I'm not even saying that they're all bad people. They don't have to all be bad people, but they can't strip themselves away from white privilege.
Exactly.
I think you said your name was Antonio something, right? I did a broadcast about that specific story. I don't remember which one it was. I'm gonna have to look into it. But she didn't even say that intercourse happened. So she didn't even say that. All the evidence was on his side, and he still went to prison. That is the power of white privilege. That even if she's a good person, okay, she can't strip herself from that. So any day she wakes up in a bad mood, she can easily completely destroy your life. And I'm not saying that there are no black women who do that, because we just have this instance right here. But I'm saying the way you have much more of a defense if the person is not white, because already America has this stigma stemming back from Birth of a Nation with the KKK that the black men are just some type of monsters that fetishize white women. We already have that stigma. So anytime you do anything at all, the dominant society is going to jump on you and throw the book at you, whether you are wrong or right.
Mm-hmm.
And when too many times they don't understand that.
Listen,
Go ahead, Spike.
listen. Yeah, thanks, Taurean. Listen, wait, let me gather my thoughts together. Okay, what I was gonna say is that, you know, I don't necessarily have a problem with interracial dating, but, you know, personally, me myself, or should I say interethnic dating, because, you know, we're all ethnicities. You know, there's only one human race in my mind. So, you know, that's why I say interethnic relationship. But I can never see myself really dating a white woman. I don't care how fine she looks. I don't care how nice she is. You know, I can't really fool with a white woman, because I don't know because at any time you can cut my throat. So I would rather, you know, take my chances with other women, but especially with my own women, because I know that a black woman is going to be 100% down with me, and I'm going to hold her up before I hold anybody else up. We you know, we all got to understand that.
And I'm glad that you Jay, that you actually segue into this topic, because I want to ask everybody on here about that picture with Jodie Turner Smith and her husband Joshua Jackson.
Harvey did a video on that.
God damn.
Yeah, like that's one topic that I did want to talk about today. That's one topic.
Do you understand that they're trying to normalize slavery so they don't give y'all reparations? That's all this is about.
Okay,
well, we got to look at.
Okay, I'm gonna let Black Voltron. You can go.
Yeah, we just got to look at, you know, for the past 15, 20 years that this, you know, this interracial swirling agenda has been creeping into society through, you know, essentially the white mainstream media. I mean, just look at every single commercial. First, it was that Cheerios commercial that everybody made a big deal about with that white woman and that black man and that mixed child, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then it became another commercial, and then another one, then two more, and then four more, and then now, when you look at the television or even, you know, online and stuff with the online commercials like on YouTube and shit, there's always an interracial, you know, commercial just being bombarded and thrown in your face. Like, okay, this is okay, and being interracial is okay. And the whole purpose of this is to, you know, essentially dilute or, you know, bring down on numbers. You know, same thing that happened down in Argentina. They call that blanco aumento. I think, if I'm saying that correctly, I'm probably not. I'm probably butchering it. But the whitening of the race, and they're trying to whiten up society. Look at now, they're bringing in 100,000 Ukrainians. Before that, it was like, you know, what, another 100,000 Afghans. Before that, you know, millions of Asians. Before that, you know, all these illegals coming across the border, you know, from Mexico, Central and South America, but they all of a sudden they're all white. You know, not hardly any of them claim that they're black heritage, if they have some. You got niggas from Dominican, you know, Africa, Haiti.
The Italians aren't historically white.
Right. Well, you know, those are the Southern Europeans and stuff, but you know, they claim white and they became white back in the early 1900s and stuff. You know, as a buffer against black people.
That was only to add to the dying white race. That's the only reason why they classified them as white.
It's the same thing. I mean, you know, what's the better way of you know, eliminating and diluting the power of foundational Black Americans? What Malcolm X said, you know, you putting cream in your coffee is to, you know, make it okay. Hey, do as much interracial swirling as possible, because there's more of us than you, and we can dilute your whole genetic lineage and stuff. You know, we know you always want, you know, some of these buck broken niggas always wanted these you know, white girls and shit like that. They want to go play in the snow, you know, and play in the cream and play in the buttermilk. You know it, swirling. You know, you have that that Neapolitan and shit. So it's like, you
Charles
know,
Barkley fat ass.
Charles Barkley. I mean, half of Hollywood. Well, shit, 3/4 of Hollywood. I mean, sports, entertainment. But think about the thing. It's always media driven. Sports, entertainment, movies and shit like that, music, these rappers and shit. Oh, it's cool to get you a white girl. I got me a snow bunny. You know, porn and shit like that. You know, let's just do as much swirling as we can, and nobody's looking at the power dynamic of, you know, let's just do anything possible to dilute any fraction of power, any you know, morsel of power that foundational Black Americans get by diluting them sexually, by diluting them monetarily, diluting them politically, diluting them entertainment wise, labor, law. I mean, the 9 areas of human activity, like Neely Fuller says. We're just trying to dilute foundational Black Americans any way possible, any and all ways possible. Destroy them, destroy them, destroy them, destroy them. It's a constant march from white people. So it's like, you know, okay, I ain't gonna be no hypocrite. You know, I dated a white girl once. Okay, I ain't gonna sit there in front. Back in the day,
we ain't go front. That's when we were
got
coons.
married. I ain't gonna lie. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I'm just all the way down pro-black, radical, super Zulu, black ass nigga. No, okay, I did it once, and it was that fucking power dynamic that always fucked with me and shit. And especially when I started learning more about the massacres of Tulsa and Rosewood, and you know, it was always over a goddamn white girl, and I was just like, well, what if something happens and shit, you know? And then,
like
you know,
I said, I can never do it. I can never do it, man.
Hey, y'all. I'm going to head out and get ready for this interview with Marcel. So I hope everybody after y'all done here.
Yeah, Gravity.
Yes, sir. So I hope after y'all finish roasting, you know, the palm colored people, y'all come over there. Cause I need to get them numbers up because reparations is very important, and we gotta support these brothers. All right.
Bro.
All right.
And I just literally, and I'm glad you're bringing this subject up, Taurean, because I just literally made my last broadcast about this, about Joy Reid, right? Or her name.
You mean Saturn rings around the neck?
Yeah. Hold on, not Joy Reid. Joy Smith, right? Jody Smith. Okay. I just made that up because I was looking through the timeline and I saw your video that you did with Venus and Serena. Okay, I saw the one with Shikari. I wanted to comment on those, and then I'm all like, let me put those in together because people don't understand all of this is different forms and different angles of white supremacy. Okay, like it's on, like they say the term, oh, this is chess not checkers, this chess not checkers. A lot of people really don't know how to play chess. They just say chess because chess is they think it's smarter. They don't understand that every piece on a chessboard doesn't move the same. Pieces on a checkers board, they move the same, with maybe the exception of the king. But a chessboard has many different pieces and many different angles and stuff. So just because it's not just because white supremacy attacks this one angle doesn't mean it won't attack through the other angle. They take both sides of the argument. And one thing that I'm seeing, which is very disturbing to me, is the fact that they're marketing these white. If you notice too, and something I've been noticing, they're doing this a lot in comic book movies where they're having the white man, they're changing what used to be a white woman for a black woman, even though the black woman might be like
Batman and Spider-Man movies.
Batman and Spider-Man. They did this with the TV show The Flash. They did this with an Amazon show called Invincible. I've been noticing that. And look, they're fiction. Some people, when I brought it up, some people are like, well, they're not real. And I'm like, okay, well, they're not real. Okay, I understand that. But we have to understand, why do you think they're doing that? Why do you think they're doing that? Because they're not doing that with black men. They're not changing the black male interest.
And when they do, it's all this controversy. Like, look at Luke Cage and Jessica Jones. They had all that controversy and shit, I think. When we saw
Paul Mooney did say black is the new white like 10 years ago. So for real.
I just wanted to chime in. Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry about that, Salakia. I just want to chime in on Afro Elite's point, what he said earlier, and this is what prompted me to come back in here. Hello again, everyone. But speaking of that, Birth of a Nation movie, the not Nate Parker's version, but the other one from back in the 20s. Yes, sir, that one. People need to realize one thing: that movie premiered in the White House before it hit any theater or went to any studio.
Yep.
And also, the Democratic Party are the ones who propagated all of that. People got to remember the Ku Klux Klan was started by the Democratic Party.
Exactly.
And we're not talking about this new age, bucktooth, snaggletooth, backwooded hillbillies that they have been going on since the late 90s or early 90s with this factions of the Ku Klux Klan. We're talking about the organized Knights of the Democratic Party. Go look it up. And also, Jim Crow was also started by the Democratic Party. And people got to remember, both of those started out as jokes. It didn't start off as.
Gentrification was started by the Democrats.
I'm sorry, Salakia, what was that? I'm sorry. What was that? I didn't hear you.
I said gentrification was also launched by the Democrats.
Oh, yes, sir. Aki, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. That was all and my point is that all of this comes out as satire and entertainment, but really they're secretly back there pushing agendas against black people, in particular straight black males. And people got to remember, black, according, and I'm not trying to get on no plebiscite talk, but black by law is dead or inept. And people got to go read that Bill Clinton memorandum that he did back in 1996. I can't remember the title of the article, but it clearly states that the African American is not even an acknowledgement of us being humans or people. We're less than dogs. We're chattel. Go read it. Please fact check me anytime you want to. And Barack Obama,
a long time ago. They said that a long time ago, Brother Rojo. I mean, Dred Scott decision and Plessy versus Ferguson. I mean, they've said that throughout our history here in these United States, that black people have no right, have no rights as white people do. I mean, this is not nothing new. I mean, the question is whether can we take it or not, make it all right, and achieve power and force them to do it. Fuck what they say.
Well, my thing is. My thing is, we just need to quit dancing on these dang political party lines. Democrats or Republicans do not have our backs or our best interests at heart. I know a lot of times in these black media spaces, because I'm subscribed to a lot of you guys, I always hear some people, there's some people that don't, but there are some people that do kind of deal with Republicans with soft gloves. No, I do not deal with them with soft gloves either. Yeah, were they more humane to black people than Democrats ever could be? Yeah, but if they're not out there pushing our agenda and then they're walking lockstep with these goddamn liberals, then that's, to me, that's a, like Professor Black True says, that's a something without a difference, similarity without a difference, or a distinction without a difference. I mean, we just can't have that. So all of these people coming in talking about this, pushing one agenda, like they're talking about Eminem being inactive. That really pissed me off, because Eminem never says anything about the far left hate people.
He threw shade at black women.
Huh?
He threw shade at black women.
I say he never says anything bad about the far left, about the Kamala Harris's or Joe Biden's or the Nancy Pelosi's. He never says any, or these David Geffens, these liberals that are pushing agendas against black people. He never says anything about them. So he made a rap about Donald Trump in 2016. Who cares? I mean, I'm not impressed by that. Like I posted in the comments, if he's an activist for black people, let him get out there, use his voice and his platform to speak on our reparations. That's all I have to say.
Choir, 100% agree with you, Rojo.
Right, and I feel like all we need to do as a people is just do what Mr. Superboy, aka At Your World, said, aka Harvey, is control your dollar and know your history. That's all we need to do, and we'll be okay. That's what's going to prevail us.
Facts.
I'm glad you brought up the Jim Crow starting as jokes, because I brought that up before too. People don't understand how important media is. Just like Neely Fuller said, that's one of the areas in the 9 areas of people activity. Media is a very powerful tool, just optics in general, which is why I made the comment on the Jody Smith, because people are telling me, I made the comment, I had a whole bunch of gaslighting telling me, oh, just mind your business, mind your business, mind your business. No, when there's a media that pushes a racist agenda, it can't be, well, I just disapprove of it in my heart and I'm going to leave it alone because that's not my business. That's one of the reasons why we're in the situation that we're in, because we've all kind of disagreed with it. And then we got like, but I'm not going to say anything. Like, for instance, I'm going to be real with you. Most people I've talked to, even the people who are like left leaning, they don't really agree with the trans stuff. They don't agree with the swapping bathrooms and swapping sports. They don't agree with that, but they don't say anything against it. And then they let the people who do speak against it, they let them get pretty much ambushed by the other people because they don't have a force to back them up. So that's why it's important for us to speak out against this and not be scared like, oh man, if I say anything, I know I'm going to be the only one to say anything, and I don't want to be the oddball out. So let me just shut my opinion up. Let me just stay quiet about this.
It's like your Afro Elite. Can I ask you a question, bro?
Hold on. Before you ask the question, let me get this super chat. Shout out to Awaken Black Heterosexual for the $10 super chat. He said, black and white relationships have never been in our best interests.
What Afro Elite was saying about the left being against the trans agenda, they're against pedophilia as well, quiet as it's kept.
Hey, can I ask you a question, Afro Elite?
Yeah.
Hey, what was your question, bro, Joe?
Hold on. Okay. He's about to ask a question. Go ahead.
Okay, you remember that situation down in Florida where that naked white boy went in there and killed those birds, broke in that man's house, and was trying to claim that that's his house?
Yeah, vaguely.
No, I don't remember that. No.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, the dude ran out of his own house, jumped out the second story window, and called the police. Sitting on his car, he got his wife out of the house and everything. But yet, I go reading about all of these stories in Florida where stand your ground law, they're killing Trayvon Martin, George Zimmerman. That's just one of many. But my point is that couldn't have been a brother to walk up in there and walk out breathing in handcuffs. And you know why? Because I'm not even sure the guy was even white, the house owner, or he could have been like Eastern European white or something. But that's called being on code. He was on code with, he didn't like the fact that a naked man killed his animals and broke into his home. But the fact that he didn't blow his head off right there at the bottom of those steps showed that he was on code. And my thing is, we, as FBA, I am a self-described Israelite, but I don't bring that into people's platforms because a lot of people don't subscribe to it, and I try to respect their spaces. But we need to be on code. We need to be on code and strong and just as strongly bonded, if not more, than these other groups are, is what I'm saying.
And I agree. We should be the strongest people on code, actually. And that's one of the tactics, like I said, of white supremacy. They're always trying to throw. We've been the only people who've been, our families have literally been attacked. White supremacy. I want you guys to understand this, and I'm not trying to like be too long with this, but they have literally nuked other countries. They have bombed other countries, invaded other countries, but let those countries keep their culture and let those countries keep their family. We're the only groups of people who they've stripped our culture from us. They told us we couldn't call ourselves by our names. They told us we couldn't read. And they're doing things to sabotage the family inside of our society. We're the only group of people who they've done that to. And that's why we have to know our history and get back to being on code. We have to understand we're not off code just because we aren't off code. It's a cause to why we're not off code. But we have to understand why we're not off code so we can combat that properly. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. And that's exactly why I get on Coons all the time. Like I said before, your DLs, your Charles Barkleys, your Larry Elders, they're all the same. And your roly-poly, fat neck Martins, they're all the same. No neck.
Boule bird, not the Boule bird.
He has no neck. I just had to correct you on that one.
Oh, and your Mark Lemoy's Coons. Let's not forget about him. Mark Lemoy.
Yeah, you ain't got to worry about him.
It's a lot of them, unfortunately. But hey, listen, I want everybody to just give their last little input in because we've been on here for over 2 hours. Like I said, I wanted to do 2 hours, but you know, sometimes time just gets away from us, and we've been on for 2 hours and almost 15 minutes. So I'm gonna start with Jay, and it's gonna go the Jay, Spidey, Rojo, Joseph, and then Black Voltron.
Oh well, I didn't mean it. I only wanted to mention one single thing. I didn't plan on being here that long, but thank you for allowing me to be up here, Taurean. You make very good, high quality content. I love your commentary. You know, it's something very simple. You know, you can drive and you can listen to it, or you can, you know, be cooking, or you know, whatever you are, and you can always kind of rely on Taurean's commentary. And that's one of the parts of media. Like I said, everybody has different angles and stuff like that. Taurean's the type of person, you know, every single day you wake up, you'll have a few different videos from him, pretty much, you know. Unfortunately, when he goes out of town, we're only going to have one. It's going to get hard. It's going to get hard to get used to that. Wow, best believe people going to be on their computers glued to it when you get back, bro. But thank you for letting me speak.
All right, no problem. All right, Spidey, you up next.
Well, as usual, Taurean, I appreciate you for letting me come on Freestyle Friday. You know I love my freestyles. I hope Nino Black, I hope you feel better, brother. And Gnome, I don't know if you're still in the chat or not, but I send best wishes to your brother. I apologize again, Taurean, for my little slide thing earlier. Once again, I wasn't trying to diss none of the other signs. I
mean, as long as you know.
Yeah. But I'll just say this: I hope you enjoy your birthday, just like I'm gonna enjoy mine in 2 days. So yeah. To everybody, thanks again. I enjoyed everybody.
Like I said, my birthday is not until May, because I had to correct somebody in the chat. They thought I was going on my trip like this upcoming week. No, it's in May. As a matter of fact, I originally was supposed to be going to Cali this week. Originally, it was supposed to be this week, but something happened. And I said I couldn't go this week, so that's why I pushed it back to the week of my birthday, which actually kind of works out better because it is my birthday. So, yeah. But to everyone asking, no, I'm not leaving this upcoming week. It's the first week in May. So we got a whole month and some change before I leave. Y'all will know, because, you know, I'm going to most likely do a stream probably the day before I leave.
But yeah, the last thing I was gonna say is nevertheless, thanks again, Taurean, and I enjoyed everybody. I hope everybody enjoyed me. You know, I had some points, I had my funny moments here and there, but I really enjoyed everybody. So thanks for this opportunity, Taurean, and everybody else.
All right, cool. All right, Rojo, you are up next.
Okay, first off, I'd like to thank the host for allowing me to visit the live stream or the live chat. My first experience, I appreciate it. I'll kind of learn as I go along. I'm going to put together my own channel. I'm working on that right now as we speak.
Oh, cool.
But I guess what I want to say and what I'm going to close with is back to this Leah Thomas thing, and not even really that whatever, but the person that did that hit piece, because that's what I'm going to call it, comparing that motherfucker to Jackie Robinson.
Ooh.
And I'm going to tell you, and I'm getting emotional, not crying, but pissed about this shit. Don't ever compare a fucking loser, a failure, to one of our heroes ever. And that's all I have to say.
Cool. And I'm glad you said that, because I actually talked about that when they first bought that up. I think that was last month. And I was like, there's no comparison. I don't know what angle you're coming in. Of course, it was a palm-colored woman that led the charge with that one. I said she needs to sit her raggedy ass down somewhere. But thank you for bringing that up. Joseph, you are up next.
Well, first and foremost, salute Taurean for this Freestyle Friday, and salute Afro Elite for holding Black Empowerment Court earlier today. What you did earlier today is the classic example of what Jason Black was talking about when he said someone else picking up the baton and running it even further than any of the pillars of the new Black media could. What you did set a precedent, and I hope it continues.
And before we go any further, I'm gonna need 11 people, if y'all have not done so already, to go and hit the subscribe button on Afro Elite's channel, because I just checked that he is at 989 subscribers. I said a couple days ago, we getting you to that 1K before the end of the month. It looks like you might get to that before the end of the weekend.
Yeah.
So if y'all have not subscribed to Afro Elite's channel already, y'all need to go hit that subscribe button as soon as possible, because he is almost at 1,000 subscribers. So
can you throw his link in there,
Tony? Shoot, honestly, he might actually get there before the end of the night. Honestly speaking, I'm gonna go to his channel right now. But while I'm doing that, Black Voltron, you got it.
Hey, thanks, Taurean. Appreciate you having me up for this March edition of Freestyle Friday. Much appreciated. Much appreciate the content that you do, for being on code and promoting B1 excellence. And I also want to thank Afro Elite for having that first how to be on code, basically how to be on code seminar we had a couple days ago. And really enjoyed. Yeah. I was there for a little bit when we were holding court on these coons and these sambos and stuff. And that was
there.
These B1 shows are exactly what we should be doing. I mean, this is a living example of how to be on code. People have questions on what is this B1 thing? What are we trying to do as Black people? How do we do this? I mean, follow instructions. Listen, learn, study, and do what your next man is doing in this war against white supremacy. I mean, we all we got. That's what we say we are. So we have to do what's best for each other, because the cavalry is not coming to save us, and we can't look to anybody else to give us a hand. We are truly all we got. So again, thank you for my once a quarter Freestyle Friday, Taurean, and I'll yield it back to you, man. Appreciate it.
All right, cool. Well, first off, let me say this. I'm glad that everybody was able to come up here and contribute to the discussion. Y'all know I do this Freestyle Friday once a month. Shout out to everybody who hit the super chat. Also, shout out to anybody who has hit the join button, whether they hit it before they came into the stream or if they hit it after they came into the stream or during the stream. I think so far, like I said, I had 4, maybe 5. I need to go and check to see what the numbers is. Like I said, my goal, it was 100, but I said, you know what? Because of what I want to do with the members only stream, I said I'll go for 50 because I think 50 is definitely doable. Like I said, I'm not going to strong arm anybody to hit that join button. That is completely and entirely up to you. But if you do want to hit that button, if you go to my page, if you go to my page, it should be a join button. It should be in a blue box that says join. Or if you look under one of my videos, it'll be next to the subscribe button. Like, you really cannot miss it. Some people said that they can't see it because they're on their phone. I think if you're on your phone, like on an app or something, you may not see that button. So you would probably have to be on a computer or a laptop of some kind, or maybe a tablet, in order to hit that button. And I think that's probably the only way that you will access it. But it's $4.99 a month. So, I mean, I think that's pretty doable. But with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and end the stream. I will be back, with the 3 videos tomorrow. Like I said, on Fridays, I only do 2 a day, which is 2 videos on this channel. If it's on the live stream channel, it's 2 videos over here. But since I went live here today, there was just 1 pre-recorded video. Hey, appreciate it. Jay became a new member. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
I appreciate it.
I'm glad. Yeah, I meant to do it before, but I forgot. But now I did it.
I appreciate it. So
I just subscribe to you, Afro.
All right, cool. So we will be back here tomorrow with the 3 videos, 1, 5, and 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So be on the lookout for that. Also, make sure y'all head on over to Kid Gravity Beyond's page now, because he is about to be interviewing, hopefully, the person that's going to get that Jimmy Clyburn up out of his seat in South Carolina, somebody who actually wants to have tangibles laid out for FBA, somebody who was actually in the academy, but is actually on code. Like, they know that they're Black first, like on some James Baldwin type shit. So
Amen.
Make sure y'all go ahead and head over there. I know I'm about to go do the same thing. Also share that particular stream on your social media platforms so more eyes can be over there, because Kid Gravity is a relatively smaller channel, so he can use the put as much push as he possibly can. With that being said, I'm gonna head off of here. Y'all enjoy the rest of your evening, enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I'll talk to you all in the next